Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the LiuLi Cup. LiuLi Cup day, or LiuLi Cup 46 day number 2. I'm of course VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the Who chats, and by my plushies. For the first time in a long time as well. Welcome one and all to another day of LiuLi Cup action. Of course, last night we were live with day one with the quarterfinals of LiuLi Cup, and now we're here with the semis and grand finals. Let's go, baby, let's go, as we switch things over and catch up on the bracket itself. And again, hope you've all been having a lovely morning. A lot of StarCraft ahead of us as always here, and as you can see, last night we had some insane matches. We had Creator took down Percival 3-0. We had SHIN taking down Beyond 3-0 in a very fast series. We had herO taking down Rogue 3-1, and Clem taking down Classic 3-1 as well. Some really intense, really dynamic matches, especially towards the tail end of the broadcast. And now we have our top 4. We have our top 4 players. Very quickly here, of course, the LiuLi Cup is an invitational. Don't confuse this with LiuLi Cup Weekly. So there's the weekly open cups, but there's also these invitational tournaments, which is a little bit more sporadic. You know, it's like once every couple of weeks. Once every couple of weeks, we have these LiuLi Cups, which feature sometimes off-race show matches, sometimes round-robin group stages, sometimes random tournaments, or here, which is something more standard, it's a 2-day event, single elimination bracket. Yesterday we were live with day 1, here we're live with day number 2. Also bearing in mind, of course, this is going to be a replay cast, and we are jumping into our first series, into our PvZ, Creator versus SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. SHIN, he had a very interesting, very intense series against Beyond. Last night again was very fast. Beyond was very greedy more often than not, and was punished for said greed, but we'll see how Creator fares. We'll see how he fares in his stead. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss, the South Green Protoss. It is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Green Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Global Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. Here we go. Have our 2 semi-finals here facing off, and I'm curious to see how SHIN has adapted and evolved and adjusted his own PvZ, especially in the current meta in the new patch. The new patch, of course, did help bolster, I will say, defensive play thanks to the change to the Storm. Storm is now a much stronger zoning tool, and typically we have players like Classic, like herO, like Creator, look to defend, look to turtle up, and look to build up into a longer and later game. I will say that Creator is a little bit different though. Creator, he is not the most standard of players. There are times where he is very much so willing to go for Twilight Council based play, into Glaive Depths, into a more aggressive builds and more assertive styles. He has his own kind of way of approaching things at times, so we'll see how Creator also adjusts against SHIN. Shall see. So now we're opening up. So for our Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. And Creator, we should be expecting a Stargate back at home, but we'll keep an eye on Creator. We'll keep an eye on him. So far we're calming down. See the chat, no gamba, baby, no gamba. Because it's a replay cast, there's no gamba for these series, for these matches. No. Here we're going to be joining on up. Likewise, our pylon position in the main is in position for a Stargate open. Of course, welcome one all to Maganatha. Maganatha is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. The bases themselves are decently spread out, and I will say there are multiple angles of attack as well. We have seen players successfully successfully break an attempting turtling Protoss player in the past. We'll see if SHIN is one to do that here as well. In my mind, that's going to be the dynamic, is Creator like being more defensive and turtling up, and SHIN trying to break that defense. At least in my mind. There we go. As said, Stargate is almost done. Should be opening up Oracle. Technically, we could go for a Void Ray or a Phoenix Opener, but they're very much so niche and, again, not really creator style. There you go, Oracle is on the way. Rallying across the map and behind this creator can then expand and build up in towards the mid game. We can get there. We can get there. Two adepts, of course, are going to be threatening the bases. They can go in, they can scout, they can one-shot workers. It's on SHIN to keep up. And SHIN, nothing crazy out of our Zerg player either. He pulls out a gas, he's getting into link production, so he's got a couple of links to keep up. He's mainly droning. Nothing crazy yet. Not yet, Matthew, not yet. Again, when it comes to the meta of PvZ, something that we have seen a rise in popularity here is the rise of Link Bane all-ins, just because of the change to the Baneley Nest. But at the same time, I mean, I say we've seen a rise in popularity. We've seen a rise in popularity of them, not as successful though. We have seen Zerg players still struggle to make these all-ins work, despite the Baneley having more HP, despite Storm doing a little bit less damage. Has still been a struggle for Zerg. At least from what we've seen so far. It's still technically like early days of the new patch, so the meta can still settle and players can still explore a little bit more. Early Eva Chamber, this is indicative of +1 melee. Indicative of Ling Hydra. As we have the attended Overlord Scouts, so we have a later Twilight Council, so Twilight Council Forge, this looks like +1 on Blink. So standard play here by Creator. Very standard. And yeah, from here we're just kind of getting into it. Yeah, +1 Blink into his gateway composition. SHIN likewise just droning, going +1 melee into Ling Hydra. Technically, we could see SHIN try to go mutas. Spire play is a little bit more accessible nowadays. That's true. Double Oracle gets in, gets 2 drones. Let's pull away. Likewise, decent surround. We did see Rogue, if you recall, make use of mutas last night in his series against herO. With that, some mixed success. We'll say that. Okay, safety Roach Horn. Safety Roach Horn out of SHIN. Taking extra gases. With all these gases being taken... Oh, okay, it was a later layer. It was a later layer. But from here, we can go into the Hydra Den, or we could even go into Spire play. We'll see what the take is going to be once the layer is done. It is a bit of a later layer, though. It is a little bit late. So again, SHIN, he's still stuck defending. Creator still poking in. Hasn't found too much damage. So far, only 3 turns. Only 3 workers. Gets eyes on the 4th. Oof. As one Oracle does go down, big overextension of a Creator. Nice pick up by SHIN. Does catch the Oracle. And with that, Creator, he has yet to go for any kind of big gateway explosion. There it is. I was curious about the gases, and there's a reason why we brought up Mutaplay earlier. Spire has been thrown down, and we are going for attempted Mutaplay. I say attempted. Checking the vision here, Creator, he did see the Spire as it was thrown down. He had the revelation on the Overlords. Is this a fake out? Like again, SHIN, he threw down the Spire under the revealed Overlord, so I wonder, he throws down a Baneley Nest as well, so this might be a fake out. We have Roach Speed on the way, we have Baneley Nest on the way, Roaches are amassing as well. It looks like SHIN, he might be hoping the Creator overreacts to the Spire. At least that would make sense in my mind. We'll see. Roaches are building up. At the same time, Creator is going double Robo into the Bay, into Colossus production. Okay. It's a little bit old school. Ladies and force to cancel. The mortals are building up. There we go. Colossus are on the way. So he's rushing into double Colossus production. Things they threaten to dive. Creator here is yet to rescout. We have 7 mutas on the way, so we are investing into mutas. Now, 7 mutas, that is enough to one-shot. That's enough to harass. It's enough to harass Mineral Lions. And Creator, he is getting safety cannons. Safety cannons, yep, in the main base as well. He knows. So I was curious if maybe he failed to scout and failed to confirm, but no, he's aware. The Muse may be coming out. And he's kind of calling Shin's bluff, and he's calling correctly. Stalker gets caught. Mutas are on the way. Yeah, Mutas they fan on the right hand side. At the same time, we do see Shin trying to catch out some of these Stalkers. But this ground army here for Creator is going to be terrifying. Gonna be catching a Ravager. Gets one, gets two. Nice pickups. Gets two Ravagers, and we're still waiting for the Colossus to move out. Disruptor as well. Okay, it does give chase. And Mutas, they finally hit the main. Stalkers are ready. Stalkers are in position. Double Rover gets scouted. And again, these Mutas, as we mentioned before, like this was mainly meant to force a reaction, but has not done enough. Remember, it was 7 Mutas. They've killed 7 probes. And the ground army is lacking as a result. This was a lot of gas. Yeah, a lot of gas being spent, and we're still waiting for the main army move out. I believe we're waiting for a second Colossus. Waiting for the Colossus. Shin, he's maxed out. Creator, he's getting there. Okay, sorry, I said a second. He's got 3 Colossi, he's got a handful of Disruptors. And Shin, he's going for it. Okay. Moving in, never goes up. Ooh, grazes the army. Grazes the army. Bathans are coming for a flank. They run into Colossi. Oof. And they, nice split. Yeah, nice split towards the end. Colossus, they survive. And Shin, he cannot push through. He cannot push through this army. It's not going to happen. He has to back up. Mutas, they attempt to snipe a Colossus. And Shin, he's stuck with Lingbane Roach Ravager. There's no Hydra Den. There's no Lurker Den. He has a Hive now, and we can maybe try to get into Ultras, question mark? We have melee upgrades, I guess. Ooh, Greater Spire. That's a bold move. I was curious where the tech was going to lead us here, and we have the answer, Broodlords. Broodlords would be amazing if we can survive that long. The problem here is that Creator should be pushing through. He's just waiting for the War Prism. Waiting for the Prism, then he can push. He can move out. And it's going to hit quite hard. He is pushing. And he does have 4 Colossus. He's got 4 Colossus. Skytoss on the way behind this. He has to be so careful not to be surrounded. Oh, blinks away. Does blink away. Shin is on the chase. Oh, he's giving chase. Creator, he's out of position. The army is actually further back. Shin is being given time to build up his upgrades. Let's go +2. Working towards +3. Still has those Vipers, I believe. Yeah. Still has them further back. And Creator, he's being surprisingly passive here. Like, he doesn't really have anything going for him by waiting this long. He's taking gases, he's getting another expansion. He does have the setup here for Skytoss, but he's playing scared. I mean, he does want Shin to move into him. There it is. There's the Ultra Cavern. We assumed that it was going to be Ultras just because of the melee upgrades. So Ultras on the horizon. Corruptor production has begun to eventually get into Broodlords. Corruptors, they have their place here, especially against the Colossus. And Creator throws down 2 more Stargates. Let's go. 2 more Stargates on the way. SHIN, he's still stuck with all these roaches. He has to get rid of them. The roaches are dead weight. They're almost dead supply. So 10 Broodlords in production. Let's go. What is scary is that he's making 10 Broodlords. I believe he has 0 Corruptors left. So after the next big fight, as Creator bleeds out some of his army, he should be getting into Skytoss, into Tempest. So SHIN is still stuck with a subpar army. SHIN, he would have to win this fight and then break a base, right? Break one of the expansions. Broodlords are revealed. Creator being very careful with how he engages. Pulls back. Going to Broodlord's house. Decent storms on the Broods. Dives in. He gets one. It's one Broodlord. But so many Stalkers go down. He gets into the fight. Storms are decent. Nice force fields as well. There with that he holds, and you can see the instant remax here on Tempest. So remaxing on Tempest at the same time, SHIN remaxing with Corruptor. We're getting into the late game. SHIN, he did save all of his Vipers. He has no Infestors, unfortunately. Infestors, so Broodlord Infestor is going to be a must to get to the late game. So the army is still lacking for SHIN. Lacking takes down the center base. See, Creator has to wait for his Tempest. And here comes the Infestor. Let's go. It's all come together. Infestor's on the way. SHIN is still stuck with the Roach Ravager. That is hurting him more than anything. Still stuck with it. As a result, there's only 14 Corruptors. It's a bit of a concern. Here, 2 more Maces. Rotating through the center. He's got plenty of Archons. And again, all the Archons are to protect the Skytoss. Ooh, 1 Archon goes down. Lose 1. Lose up to 2. Not bad. Ooh. Brutal feedbacks. And Brutal's moving, and they get another Corrupt. So they get another Archon. It's almost another. They also have 3 Archons going down. That's goes here by SHIN. The Archons get 2 more Tempest. He's throwing away his Roaches. Killing his own Ravages as well. Ah, Smerge, man. Smerge. Oh, as Creator, he's also going for a bit of a run by here. I mean, speaking of perfecting the armies, Colossus, they don't really have their place here, not anymore. Like instead of Colossus, this could be more Archons or more Storms. Or a Templar. So we're going full Broodlord Corruptor Infestor. Once again, takes out the center expansion. Up to 16, soon to be 19 Corruptors. And moving in. Nice feedbacks, very nice feedbacks. Yeah, feedbacks all the Vipers. 0 abductions. SHIN does at least get the expansion. Has to pull away. Here he pulls away, has to regather all that energy. And now that we can settle in here, what are the armies looking like exactly? Okay, so we have 8 Tempests. So we have 8 Tempests, 6 Archons, 3 Immortals. As I mentioned before, I do think that these Colossus are... not ideal. So we have some 2 Colossus mixed in. We have a couple of Carriers. We have Void Rays on the way. The Void Rays is an interesting addition. Very interesting. Void Rays are vulnerable to clumping. They're vulnerable to parasitic bombs. They're an okay unit against Corruptors. They're okay. Here we go. The armies, they pass by each other. Are we going for the base raid? Do we recall? It's coming in from behind. And sounds like behind as well. Going for the fungals. Yeah, mass fungal. Knocks down the army. Parabomb as well. Parabomb on the Colossus. But Void Rays, they do zone away. So back to the army. Broodlords are exposed. Broodlords are getting picked off. And he can miss. He can miss in the fight. And the Archon's out of position. Archons are going down. Corruptors are moving in. Not enough. Yeah, not enough Corruptors. Even without the Archon support. Corruptors are going down. We go for the Stalker Warpin. And Creator, he will take the fight. Chasing him down. Catching out all the Broodlords. Again, the feedbacks were good enough. Tempest, they maintain themselves. Wasn't enough anti-air. And we remaxed with 13 Ultras. Oh my god. 13 Ultras. We had 14 over there. GG. GG gets called. SHIN, he has no army. And Creator, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. All came down to one big fight. Creator, he was able to, for the most part, avoid all the big spells. It all began with one fungal. We then had one fungal. We got one parabomb. But ideally, with the Zerg army, you don't really want to be taking these head-on engagements. You want to be chipping away at the army with abductions, right? You get one Tempest here and there. You get a Carrier here and there, like a couple of units at a time. Going for a major engagement like that, it was just a really awkward for SHIN. I was very impressed here with the fact that despite the Archons not really engaging with the Corruptors, they went down real fast. They were shut down. Storms did help, but also the Tempest, the Void Rays, they played their part. Void Rays did play their part as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, Creator takes the lead in the series, and now we're getting into game number 2. Again, I was a little bit surprised to see SHIN embrace a longer and later game. It's a bold move, you know, props to SHIN for getting into the late game, not easy. Of a Muta-based opener, but here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. In the series 1-0, it is a Creator. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And a big shout out to Juggernaut Jason in the chat. God, baby God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. I know you've been streaming a little bit more StarCraft as of late, especially with the new patch, with the new map pool on the horizon. Hope you've been enjoying. Assuming you're laddering Terran, but I know you also have been playing some Zerg in recent times as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and welcome one and all to LiuLi Cup. LiuLi Cup number 46. Welcome. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. This is an invitational tournament, and we're here in the semifinals. We're here in the top four. Top four. We have a Creator versus SHIN in a best of 5, followed by herO versus Clem, also in a best of 5. SHIN chat, no neural? Yes, no neural. You don't want to be going into a fight like that trying to neural units, just because it's a waste of energy. Unfortunately, like when it comes to these major engagements, because there's so much ground support, there are all these tempests, the approach is not to like go in and try to like neural Archons or neural tempests or anything like that. We kind of mentioned before that ideally you want to be picking away at the army. That includes not just abductions, also fungals. There we go. Here we go. So from here, SHIN is going for his own standard opener, hatch gas pool. And we're calming down, getting into game 2. As a reminder, in game 1, we saw that SHIN, he had a cheeky build where he was trying to go for Aspire, go into Muta play. Unfortunately, he got scouted, and the Mutas didn't really pay for themselves. They did not pay for themselves. The Spire was seen by the Revelation. Creator, he had cannons in position. He had plenty of Stalkers. He was able to counterattack, able to punish, and yeah, SHIN just had a bit of a rocky start to the last game. Creator was very comfortable. Very comfortable. From here we have another Stargate opener. Welcome to Incorporeal. Incorporeal is another one of these larger maps, and we do often see a lot of late game, a lot of sky toss here on this map as well, at least from the Protoss side of things. So we should be expecting Creator to play very similarly, to also get his 3rd base, work towards a 4th base, turtle up, but defend on 4 bases, max out, get into sky toss. I would say that the pressure is more on SHIN to stop that from happening, right? The pressure's on SHIN to all in, to try to break it. Creator early. Last game, he didn't all in, he went into Muta play, but again, it got scattered, wasn't worth it, didn't pay for itself. We'll see what SHIN goes for it this time. Shout out to Jace. For now. Now we're building up. Creator claiming his 3rd. SHIN does make an extra wave of Lings, so we can attempt to counterattack and maybe deny the 3rd base. Yeah, Lings are moving out. It's a pretty big investment, as typically half these Lings would be drones. And Creator shades back. Yeah, he shades back. Does spot the Lings. Does make it back home in time, and these Lings have not been worth it. Oof. They're not quite worth it for SHIN. Creator, he defends well. This time, Creator going for his Twilight Council and Forge at the same time, so is going for +1 on Blink again. Standard follow-up. And SHIN does open up Lair first. Lair before Evo Chamber. Okay, so SHIN is going for a different style. As a reminder, what happened last game? Last game, we saw early Evo Chamber into +1 melee into more of a Ling Bane composition. I did go into Roach Ling Bane in the end. Here, no Evo Chamber, no upgrades. We're expecting Roach Ravager into maybe Hydra Tech. We'll see. Technically, we could see a Spire alongside this once again. Nice snipe of the Queen. In, he pulls away. It's a range upgrade indicative of Hydra Tech. And speaking of, there it is. Hydrogen is on the way. So a very different composition this time from SHIN. Oh, a bold move. This is going to be a very tech-heavy style. We saw a lot of this last year in 2024, especially the end of the year. Basically, the goal here is to rush into Hive, to rush into Lurkers, and to have this big power spike with Lurkers as quickly as possible. It's not like an all-in or anything like that, but it's very committed, very tech-heavy. It's going to be a very crisp timing. The goal is to snowball out control with Lurkers before Sky Toss. Meanwhile, Creator, just like last game, going double Robot Colossus. So he's focusing, fixating on his mid-game army. There's that Lurker Den that's on the way. It's already in production. We spoke about it, but that's the end goal of SHIN, is to get into those Lurkers as quickly as possible. It's a recall. Creator force a recall, does save all his units. And again, the problem with this style that SHIN is going for is that Creator isn't being too tech heavy. He isn't rushing or trying to rush into a Fleet Beacon and Stargate into Tempest production. He's focusing on his mid-game army first with those Colossi. And again, this style was seen quite a bit from players like Creator, from players like Showtime during the Altitude map pool. That was what, like 2-3 map pools ago? Like 2023, maybe early 2024. It's a rare sight nowadays. Like, you don't see players like Classic or herO or MaxPax going double Robot Colossus in this matchup. So it's very old school. By that I mean like, again, like 2 years ago. Year and a half ago. That was when there's a little bit more meta. And as a result, I feel like this Lurker timing isn't going to be as strong as it should be. Lurkers have amassed. We have Storm on the way behind this. We already do have a safety disruptor. Yeah, one disruptor so far. Hallucination confirms the hive. Confirms the hive. And SHIN, he will soon be pushing. He's already drawn up to 91. So he has his economy. He now focused on the army. He can look to max out. And we'll see what Creator has by the time SHIN maxes. Creator's being more assertive. SHIN, he's maxing out. Unfortunately, as SHIN is maxing, like Creator, he's not too far behind. Storm is on the way. More Immortals on the way. Here we go, Lurkers are pushing. This is SHIN's moment. He's been building up to this moment here, this push. He has how many? He has 12 Lurkers. 12 Lurkers so far. Creator is able to engage ahead of time. Oh. It slows down the Hydras. Gets one of the Lurkers already. Oh, we'll lose his disruptor. Nice pick off by SHIN. At the same time, he attempts to run by, he gets caught out. Massive stasis. And he's slowly losing his Lurkers here. He will lose 2. Down to 10. Oh. Nice Lurker shots. There's 10 Lurkers left. Oof. Starting back the army, creating a choke point. And Creator, he goes for it, he breaks out. And there's no support. Yeah, there's no support for the Lurkers. They're all going to go down. A massive pickup, and SHIN, he will lose everything. Every lurker falls. Yeah, the flank as well. The flanking immortals. SHIN, he will plummet in supply, and he has nothing. He has nothing behind this. He had 12 lurkers down to 0. He has Hydras on the way. He has Lings on the way. Creator, he can just counterattack. He should just keep pushing. He should keep pushing. He's playing it safe. Yeah, it does pull away. SHIN is rebuilding those lurkers. That was a brutal fight for SHIN. Again, there are just so many immortals. And immortals are a really good counter to said lurker. As long as they spread. If they clump, then sure, lurkers can win a fight, but only if the army clumps. So meanwhile, big shout to Magna. Magna. Bad coincidence. Maybe we had a good stream, maybe a good ladder session, question mark. It'll be a great time. Welcome, welcome. We're in the semifinals of LiuLi Cup. We're in the semis. Creator attempting a flank. Okay, going for the nice on the right hand side. Saves the lurkers. Gets the hell out of there. I'll save the lunkers. SHIN trying to move in. There's the recall. Creator does recall in time. Once again, getting on top of the lurkers. Here comes a flanking army. And SHIN, we gotta get out of here. Once again, the lurkers are on their own. There's no Hydra support, no Lings either. I'm getting deja vu. We've been here before, Pat. The observer does siege. And Creator looking to flank the army, potentially even just get us around. Oh. Runs into Hydras. Nice pickups here from SHIN. Gets one, gets 2 immortals. Very nice pickups. Oh, good. See, Hydras do overextend. And now he's moving in. So it's Tempest, his mothership. Switching into Skytos. Thankfully, SHIN does pull out in time. But he's stuck with Hydra Lurker. Oh. We did clump. This Creator still committed here to more immortals. Creator he only has the 1 Tempest, and SHIN is switching into Corruptor production already. Oh. No K Storm. SHIN still trying to force the issue here. Let's get 2 more High Templar. It is so difficult gaining ground without getting surrounded. And SHIN has to back up. And SHIN pulls away. Creator still really adverse to embracing Skytos here. Still just cranking out more immortals. This is dealt with. Going for another. Creator does notice. Oh. Just barely noticed in time. Creator getting caught out of position, bleeding out a couple units. 2 immortals going down. And SHIN is holding on to 13 corruptors. Oh. Brutal storms, brutal storms. Hydras, they take the storm to the face. Creator going for the base trade instead. Okay, goes for the counterattack. I mean, there are so many lurkers here. 16 lurkers moving in. This base will go down. And we just base raid. Let's go. Creator, he sends it across the map. He can always recall back home. He'll lose one expansion, but he'll take down another. Going in between bases, takes down the Nidus. There's no Nidus back home. SHIN turns back around. He's racing back. That's a lot of tech that's falling. +2 is denied. Lurkers are going to be moving up the ramp into a concave. Speaking of, yeah, Creator, he holds the high ground. SHIN cannot move in. And Creator just backs off. Pulls away. Nice aces. Nice aces trap. Takes down the expansion, denies a bunch of tech. Does go for it, does run through the storms. Yeah, brutal storms. Oh, so many lurkers go down as well. The Immortals, they just go to town. And Corruptors, they reset the Colossus count, but the Corruptors, they can't really do anything from here. There's no Greater Spire, there's no Broodlords. Greater Spire just now begins. Massive misstep here from SHIN, it wasn't ready. And the Corruptors, they're almost dead supply. Ay, ay, ay. 20 Corruptors. They couldn't do anything. They killed the one Tempest, the one Mothership. So better fights here from Creator. He lost the base, but he saved the mineral line. He saved his probes. Creator's already remaxed, and SHIN, he's running out of money here. He needs that Greater Spire. Broodlords would have been amazing. But the ground toss back. Who needs sky toss when you have mass immortal? True. 10 immortals. Oof. Storms. Corruptors, they're just trying to engage, but again, they can't really do much in this fight. Here we go, 9 Broodlords on the way. Let's go. 9 Broodlords, 7 Infestors. But this feels too little too late. Oh. Yeah, detection is available. Lurkers go down, another base falls. Now, are the Broodlords going to be enough? I say Jumorph in. Again, Anti-Air is very limited here for Creator. He has a handful of Stalkers. Yep, he sees the Broodlords. Does dive in. Jesus. And Broodlords are on their own. That's good. 2 Broodlords do go down. Nice Fungal. Fungal connects. Tempest going ham. Where are the Corruptors? They're now moving in. Another Fungal. Tempest falls. But there's just no support. Yeah, Stalkers just keep reinforcing. Stalkers, they zone away the Broodlords. Oh, a bit of an awkward fight here for Creator. Yeah, very awkward. Nice Fungal once again. But the Stalkers, they punish the Broods. Get out of here. Yeah, Broodlords, they cannot hold their own. They need support. They need Infestors, they need Corruptors, they need Lurker support as well. GG gets called, and Creator, he will snowball out of control. He will take game number 2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Creator, who will extend his lead in the series. Unfortunately, SHIN, his Greater Spire was so late. It was so delayed. He was stuck on Hydra Lurker for so long this game, and he was just outscaled. He was just outscaled by the Massive Immortal, and not even any Skytoss, by the way, but by that more Immortal-based composition. Eventually, he realized, he was like, oh, like, you don't really have Tempest, you don't really have Skytoss. I can switch into Broods, but it was such a late realization, and with that, GG. With that, GG well played. By the time he got into Broodlords, he had no support. He had nothing to support his army. He was down in supply, down in economy, didn't have a bank. GG. GG well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 3. We're going to be loading into ley lines. Here we go. go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner here of ley lines, we have the red Zerg player, the red Protoss. We have the red Protoss player, we have the South Korean Protoss leading the series 2-0. It is a creator. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, we have the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. No detection if SHIN plays it right, though. Investing your supply into 14+ corruptors when there's only one Tempest for the purposes of denying observers, that's not... it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. That's so much resources, so much dead supply. Unfortunately, as we mentioned before, like SHIN, he overinvested into Corruptor. He had very late Greater Spire as well, so the Corruptors are, again, kind of dead weight for the majority of that fight, of those engagements. Even if detection was an issue, I mean, you saw the creator, he just avoided the army, just went for the base trade, went for the counterattack. Nah, true, he's got the observer hit squad. The anti-observer hit squad, I should say. 20 corruptors. Let's go. From here, we're going to be building up. Once again, we do have our standard openers. She's building up back at home. Likewise, so is Creator. Creator, he's going for the same style 2 games in a row. He's gone for a standard Stargate opener into a third base, into double Robo Colossus after +1 Blink Stalker. Every game so far has been the case here for Creator. We'll see how SHIN adjusts, because he has been mixing it up, right? Game 1, we saw Muta play. Game 2, we saw the rush into Lurker tech, which I wasn't too fond of, just because Creator was so ground focused. He was so mid-game oriented. And we'll see what SHIN goes for this time. It's just a difficult thing to really achieve here, just because Creator is playing so safe. You could argue that SHIN could try to go for unscattered mutas. He could try to be a little bit more tech heavy and more late game oriented, instead of fixating so much on that Lurker timing, maybe. It's just Creator's build is just really safe. It's very safe, because he goes double Robo. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure the first 2 Colossus arrive in time for a 3-base all-in. Or at least they'd arrive in the middle of the all-in. The downside, and why we see players like herO, players like Classic, a lot of these other top Protoss players don't really play this style, is because you don't really have much map presence and much map control early on, so you can't really apply pressure and try to punish your opponent and do damage and deal economic damage. It's a much more defensive style. And we'll see if Creator goes for it again. Go. So now we're kind of entering the early to mid game. Oracle's going to be harassing. SHIN shouldn't take too many losses here. Shouldn't. Pokes in, gets 2 drones. Oh, does stick around a little bit too long. Takes a lot of hits, barely gets away. 3 drone kills. Gets 3 drones. Once again, Forge, Twilight Council, as the third base is finishing up. Lost on Blink. So far, it looks like the same build. So far. From here, we're expecting a couple of gateways, into a Robo, into the bay. So we're expecting. SHIN is taking his gases. Does open up lair first, very similar to last game. Lair first into the Evo chamber. +1 melee, a little bit later, +1 melee out of SHIN. That's a lot of gases. Yo, we're going to mutas? As all 6 gases are being taken here. Ay, ay, ay. It's gotta be muta, right? I mean, technically, the other option would be Hydras into really fast infestation pits. I feel like Ling Hydra based all-ins aren't as greedy, but I mean, still on the table. We'll see. Lair's almost done. Lair's almost done. What's it gonna be? Hydra Den or Spire? +1 range has begun. We have the answer. Not melee. Hydras. So Hydra is on the way. SHIN, he's droned up to 3-base saturation. We'll see if he drones up even further. Because he may... no, he is? Okay. I was gonna say he may cut workers. But no, he's droning up past 70. He's, just like last game, he's rushing into lurker tech. Okay. I mean, a couple of things here. This will hit a little bit harder for SHIN just because this is a smaller map, right? Compared to Incorporeal. Ley Lines is a smaller map, so aggression is a little bit more favored here compared to the last game. But I'm still not in love with the idea of going for the same style 2 games in a row. So just like last game, SHIN is going to drone up to, what, 85 plus workers. Rushing into Hive, rushing into Lurker Tech. And then his big power spike is going to be with his Lurkers. But just like last game, Creator, he's going double Robo into Colossus into Mass Immortal. So getting deja vu. It's very similar to last game. Nice baits. Baits out both stasis traps. Baits out both. Hive is almost done. Lurker upgrades are on the way. Here come the first wave of lurkers. And again, SHIN should be the first to max out. He'll be the first to max out, so he'll be able to build up to what, like 14 lurkers again. And it's Creator who's turtling. Like, as we said, like this build that Creator's going for is very defensive, which is ideal against what SHIN is going for. The Creator's throwing down a wall of stasis traps, building up his immortals, disruptors. Does catch out some of the stalkers, not bad. Yeah, catching out 6 stalkers, very nice. Creator gets punished for being active. Okay. SHIN's in this game. Has some momentum. We have 8, soon to be 11 lurkers. Upgrades are almost done. And we'll see if SHIN can break Creator. Now, if he doesn't break him initially, then it's okay, as long as we start taking up in towards Broodlords a little bit faster this time. Say a little bit, just faster in general. Assuming he doesn't throw away too much. Nice blitz. There it is, connect. Bypassing the army. There's some Vipers in the mix as well. It's going to be 11 lurkers, so he's moving in. Detection is available. There's a cannon in position. The lurker's going to be going down. Decent abduction. Nice lightning clouds as well. But the lurkers are falling. Yeah, he's going to clean up every single lurker. Again, the immortals, they just go to town. The Colossus as well. And again, this build just does not work against Creator style. Like, it's like Creator, he's just so ready for these pushes. Ay, ay, ay. Creator, he's doing his best Showtime impression. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, Showtime used to play like this as well. True. I mentioned it before. It's Creator and Showtime that were more fond of this. And Nova's going off. Massive connection on the Hydras. Shinny's lost a little momentum. Down to 4 lurkers. Oh. Shotgun does overextend. Creator has low ground. Who gets the expansion? They should go down. Oh. Gets a Colossus. Not bad. And Shin is in a rough position. He invested so much, so much into that lurker timing. Was not worth it. As a Creator, he saved his base, he saved his mineral line, he's on 4 expansions, he can max. And Shin he's doubling down. He's doubling down. He's committing here to more lurkers. I mean, he has to even survive. And once he maxes, we'll see if he techs. Speaking of, I was about to say that I would like to see a Spire around about now. We have a Fleet Beacon for Creator, taking up into Skytals. So Creator is on the way. Skytals is coming. As we build up to 17 lurkers. Oh my god. Building up to 17 lurkers. Now we have the Spire on the way. Very committed here from Shin. He just wants to brute force. He just wants to end it. Just the one Viper. It's back at home. Zelsa get across the map. Massive warp in. Creator gets into the natural, and he's forcing Shin home. Yeah, Shin is forced back home. He holds, he defends. Drones are going to be going down. Thankfully, we have some Spine Coolers. Spire scattered. He's aware of the tech. Here he split up his army. And again, I would hope to see a faster, greater Spire this time. And even a faster second Spire. Like, I mean, if you're looking Shin, he has a bank. He has a bank to work with. There it is. Greater Spire's on the way. So, obviously, last game is also in the back of Shin's mind. This time, Broodlord's going to be available a lot faster. Does take some sorts to the face. That's one immortal. Leads out 2 lurkers. Mothership can always recall. The good Corruptor production has begun. And Shin, he can go straight into Brutes from there. Corruptors. We want 2 more Stargates. We're getting ready for Mass Tempest, Mass Skytos.
Collapses in, gets the mothership. Mothership should go down. Brutal storms though. Oh my god.
The mothership's gonna barely go down, but for the cost of all these corruptors. Yeah, brutal loss. That was 7 corruptors, 3 lurkers. Brutal loss there for SHIN. It's a better trade for the Protoss. So we have 10 Broodlords on the way. Now the Broodlords are going to have a big power spike against a ground-focused army, but that's also why it's important that this time Creator, he's ready for Skytoss, right? He's ready to just take to the skies. Sears are being cleaned up. We have 8 Corruptors. Yeah, the army's still not quite there for SHIN. He's lacking spellcasters as well. He's got 2 Vipers, no Infestors. Storm. Oh my god. Use the storm, better feedback, snipes one of the Vipers. Este Creator. Calm down. Meanwhile, shout out to Este Chileno in the chat as well. God, amiga, gracias. Thank you so much for subscribing. For how many months? For 50 months with Twitch Prime. That's a lot of us. Ay. Todos los meses, man. That's kind of take here from Creator, takes out a base, takes out a mineral line as well. Oof. And he's just pulling SHIN apart. Now bases, Corruptors a rally into the arc. Oh god, oh, get out of here. That's 2 bases falling. Creator, he does back up, he does pull away in time. And we're getting another expand. No shot, a 3rd base. 3rd hatchery goes down. Brutal pickup. He's more than happy to lose these units as well, to trade out Immortals, to trade them for more Tempest, for more Skytos. So he will lose these Immortals, but hey, he got 2 bases. Got 2 expansions for it. Still moving in. And again, these are just such efficient trades if a Creator, as he wants to lose this army, but he's not. He's just killing more bases. Killing more expansions. SHIN, he's burning through his bank. He's burning through it. Carrier production has begun. Nice feedback. It's a recall. Does like the Tempest at least. And we'll see what Creator's been remaxing on. He's got 6 Tempests. He's getting into a couple of Void Rays as well. Carrier production, so mainly Skytos. He's down to only 3 Archons. The low Archon count is a little bit concerning. There's a couple more just morphed in. Okay, up to 5. Archons. SHIN, meanwhile, has gone into his Broodlord Infestor. But Creator has a massive bank. What that means is that SHIN, he needs a decisive fight. He can win a fight and he has to keep pushing from there. cannot take it slow. Speaking of, picks up a couple of corruptors. Creator, he wants to collapse on this army. Let's get the revelation. 3 shots. This one gets 2 Brood Lords. Arco's moving in. Nice armor control here by Creator. And SHIN does get away. Oh. Let's pull away. Nice feedbacks. Gets 1. Another base goes down. Curious where all the Archons were. It's a nice rotation out of Creator. Bad position army movement, just recall. That wasn't bad positioning or army movement, if you recall. Oh. The recall was the harassing army, if you remember. Which Creator was more than happy to lose. Oh. Just be more efficient. Meanwhile, 2 Void Rays almost get picked up. We'll lose 1. Saying Creator is so good at this. Like, he's doing this so often in this game, just picking off or grabbing a couple of Immortals, couple of Archons, peeling them off and just having a harassing force. It's time and time again. Large Tablet gets past. Not for long. This does catch Creator's attention. Workers are moving in. Creator, he responds with the Skytoss army. SHIN not quite in position. He's not here to defend. These lurkers have to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. SHIN, he'll push through the center, which means Creator can activate this army. Yeah, you just go for it. You can go for it. There they go. So we're going for the base trade. SHIN through the center, Creator from both sides. Creator moves in, harassing force here towards the natural. SHIN, he has to race back home. And SHIN, he's denied the center base. He denied 1 expansion, but he will lose 1 himself. Well, this Creator, he doesn't get into the natural. Sorry, he does. Go shape the main. Snipes the lurker den. Doesn't get the Hydrogen. That was an expensive run by here from Creator. Oh, we're going for the dive. Nice feedbacks. Does recall. Oh, back home, just barely. Yeah, it does recall, but last 2 will lose his Void Rays, lose some of the Tempest. Better engage here from SHIN. SHIN better engage, going for the counterattack. Kills that base, no cancel. Now, what's scary here, as we mentioned before, we spoke about how SHIN, he needs to win a decisive fight. The reason for that, I mean, Creator still has a massive bank. Like, Creator, he's rebuilding, he's remaxing. Oh, as he bleeds out 2 more Tempest. Yeah, 2 more Tempest and the Mothership. Nice catch here from SHIN. But the reality is that SHIN is broken. Like, SHIN, he has no bases. He has no bases, he has no income. Like, SHIN, it's one and done for the Zerg. This is his final army. Does get a combo of Tempest, which is great and all, but he has to keep going. He has to keep pushing. Oof. Brutal dive. It's not worth it. No, not like this. He'll lose all the Corruptors. He tries to spread the Archons. They punish so hard. And now they're moving in. From here, we can just remax on Stalker. Speaking of, here comes the Stalker Warp in. SHIN has to get out of here. Oh. There's one of the brutes. Stalkers, they back off. Nicely reinforcements. They do well against the Stalkers. Okay. Shin, can he keep going? Can Shin do it? Catches the Archons. Ah, there's too many Tempests. Yeah, there's too many Tempests. Not enough anti-air. Every Corruptor is about to go down. Oof, down to 5 Corruptors barely standing. And Tempest, they can just chase. Yeah, they can chase us down. And Shin is broke. We spoke about it. Shin, he never got bases. He never got a 5th expansion up and running. Shin has no money. And Shin will lose every Broodlord. GG gets called. Creator, he will take the series 3-0. Advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Shin, he was able to have some better engagements towards the tail end of that game, but if you recall, what mattered in the end? The economy. The economy, the lack of bases, the lack of bank. Shin, he had 0 gas towards the end of that game, so what you saw is what you got, right? He could not reinforce his army. I mean, he was reinforcing with Lings. That's all he had. That's all he could reinforce with was with Zerglings. He had no tech behind it. He has no gas behind it because of the non-stop counterattacks. We were praising Creator earlier, but he kept going for these kind of hit squads of Archons and Immortals, knocking down base after base after base. Shin just couldn't keep up with the rotations, couldn't hold on to his bases, couldn't maintain his economy. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. Someone tells Shin Broodlords are terrible. Broodlords are necessary in late game PvZ. If you're a little bit unfamiliar with the matchup or with the game, Broodlord Infestor is the go-to. What was hurting Shin here wasn't the army composition necessarily, it was the economy, as we mentioned. Unfortunately, he had a really hard time keeping units in position. Towards the tail end of the game, we saw he was then investing into static defense, into like spine crawlers, spores in between his bases to like stop these run-bys and counterattacks, but it was too little too late. Like, he'd already lost so many expansions. GG. GG, well played. As now we're getting into our next matchup, we're getting into our PvT. So with that, Creator, he's the first player to make it through into the finals, and we're here to determine who will face off against Creator in those grand finals. Up next, herO and Clem facing up. Here we go. Again, herO and Clem, they often do trade. They trade blows, they go back and forth. One week we see herO win during the online events, another week we have Clem winning. So we're expecting a back and forth here, but we'll see. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, big shout to Beast Warrior 890 in the chat. Baby God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. So we're getting into our fresh series and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Go. There we go. Here we go. From here, we're getting into our TVP, and we'll see how Clem will adjust his approach. Clem, he has been experimenting quite a bit in this matchup over the past couple of weeks. I mean, for good reason, right? With the latest patch, TVP has been changing quite a bit. The meta has been shifting the most in this matchup out of any other matchup in the latest patch. We've seen players experiment with faster second star ports. We've seen Protoss players experiment quite heavily with earlier Colossus production into delayed Storm. Here himself is a little more dynamic. We see Stargate play, Robo play. Here is unique in that respect. He's a lot more experimental. Oh. A little more dynamic. Meanwhile, economic opener, single gas, so Rax expand out of Clem. Does go for a more economic start, and we'll see where herO takes us. As here he is aware of the CC timing, he knows. is where he waits for the Reaper to move out. As the Reaper moves out, Probe moves back in. Just being as annoying as possible. Does force back the Reaper. So shuts down the Probe. herO, he invested into the first Zealots. Bold move. Once again, he waits for the Reaper. No, he gets caught. Yeah, he did miss time. Zealot gets caught, and this was a big investment here for herO. It was not worth it. Ideally, he wanted to try to sneak past and try to delay the CC. Unable to. Unable to delay. We gotta commit anyway. Behind this, Twilight Council opener out of herO. And the bunker is done. It does delay for a second. Delays for a second, but not much longer. So if Clem, he will clean up. These are quite a bit of an investment here from herO, throwing away two Adepts, the Zealots, still rallying across the map. And behind this, getting to 3-gate Blink. But bleeding out a lot of gateway units early on. As the Zealot is hunted down. Very nice KDA charge, saves the Reaper. And Clem following this up with drop play. So very aggressive follow-up here by Clem. Loads up, moves out. Because of the losses here, he's stuck across the map instead. Chasing the Reaper Hellion, he does not spot the medevac. Oh. Yo, Clem with the attempted surround, let's go. Yeah, it does unload, does zone the Stalker away. And he will chase the Stalker down, getting another kill. Doesn't look like a lot, doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it all does add up, especially this early on. You don't have that much to work with. As herO zones away, attempts to expand. And Clem does at least confirm. Okay, scouts the timing. This is a third Nexus, I believe, before... Oh, not before Robo, before Gases. So 3-gate Blink into Robo into third base. What is meant to be a safe build, but a little bit shaky here from herO. And Clem is building up. He's building up back at home, getting the Sim, +1, combat shields. Going for a later third base. And it's going to be up to herO to confirm, to scout to confirm, and to slow down the push, to slow down the eventual move out of Clem. And likewise, we'll see if he goes into Storm or into Colossus. We're waiting for the Bay or the Temple Archives. We have the answer. Going for the Bay, going for Colossus. As we mentioned before, Colossus have been very, very popular as of late as a follow-up. If you're unaware regarding the matchup, the Ghost was changed to a light-based unit, to the light tag, which means Ghosts are more vulnerable to Colossi. So we'll see a little more Colossus-based play. Oh, nice catch. Oh, very nice catch. herO shuts down the medevac. Nicely done. Contains Clem. As you mentioned, that's his job. That's his role here right now for herO, is just contain the Terran for as long as he can. Colossal production has begun. Denies the Hellion scouts. And the Clem is expanding. So third TC is on the way. Clem is building up into a longer game. We're settling in. Breaking out, gets his third base. Ideally here he wants to delay the third. His own fourth base is late. So late fourth base out of herO, late economy. So hero's trying to keep up. And coming into the mid game, Clem is honestly in a decent position here. I mean, part of it is thanks to the initial trades early on. Catching out the Stalkers, catching out the Adepts. It meant that herO couldn't really apply pressure and blink into the bases, for example. Likewise, with herO's late fourth base, Clem is keeping up economically. If not embracing a greater economy. And again, typically herO he has a little more momentum than this. Building up charge lots. Going very zealot heavy. So going for a very zealot heavy composition like this is ideal if the Terran player is pushing into you, right? If Clem goes for a push, then herO can attempt to surround, can attempt to flank. Instead though, if herO's going to try to push in, it's going to be more difficult. Again, mass charge load, the big downside here of this, and something that's difficult to achieve, is pushing into SimCity, right? Pushing into choke points. Clem is very well set up here at the third. And here he's going for it. War Prism into the main. Main army towards the third. Let's go. Oh. Takes a mind jump to the base. Wouldn't does connect. Going for the Marauders, decent force field. But again, a brutal choke point. You cannot push in. And we spoke about it. The CC does provide a choke point here. Mineral Line as well. Prism does get in. Okay. Here he gets into the main. Clem forced to react. And here, can he get on top of the tanks? He can get on top of one. That's a kill. That's a kill. Load of cancel. CC goes down, gets one of the tanks as well. Colossus are moving in. And here he's going for the kill. Can't quite break through though. Gets only 5 SCVs. And he has no support. Yeah, no support left. He'll lose everything. The Colossus goes down, the Stalkers, and the remaining army as well. And here, he'll lose everything. He'll lose all the momentum. In the main base, he does still have that Prism that can keep some supply at home. Force a recall. And it's going to take so long to rebuild that army. The downside of going for something like Colossus is it takes so long to rebuild, so long to replenish. And Clem can soon push. He can soon just move out. He took a very strong fight. Here, I'm sure he was hoping that Clem would overreact to the drop. If you remember, Clem, he picked up 1 medevac. He had the production in the main base, and he had 1 medevac picking up to drop into the main as well. So there was no major reaction. And once herO pushed in, like, he had to commit. The warp in, it looks like it may... it's not gonna... It does barely complete. Okay. Gets into the main. A lot of ACV is going to be going down. Very nice hold position micro here out of Clem. Saves his workers. Cleans up the Zealot run by. And here he's throwing away so much supply here. Even the Immortal! Yeah, Immortal goes down as well. Brutal pickoff. And you can see here a plummet in supply. He's throwing away too much. I mean, he was already behind after the failed push. True. So what else can you do? Still warping in mass zealots. And again, this style works really well if your opponent's pushing into you, if you have a base lead, the economic lead, if you have momentum. herO doesn't have that. He attempts to run by. The best chance that herO has is that as Clem is pushing halfway across the map, herO can counterattack and then deal damage and force Clem back home. That's the hope, at least. But outside of harassing, herO doesn't really have anything. Like, there's no main army. He's got 1 Colossus back at home. He's got a handful of Zealots. Once again, setting up for another counterattack. That's all he has. Just send it back. He's going to be the first to max out. Here, he's built up to, I mean, there's 2 Colossus. The soup does lie here. The supplies, they look deceivingly close, but remember, a lot of supply here are in Zealots. It's a very Zealot-heavy army, very Zealot-dense composition here for herO. He has no Storm, no Disruptors, only 2 Colossus. So this is a very, very fragile army here for herO. Soup is lying to you, Bobby. So he's going for it. Let's move in. Nice EMPs. EMPs punish. Vikings as well. They chase down the first Colossus. With that down to 1. 1 Colossus left. Zealots, they try to charge in, and you can see here just plummeting supply. He'll lose everything. He'll lose the Colossi, lose the Zealots. And Clem can just keep pushing. Cannon should just keep pushing. Catches the Immortal. herO, he is mass expanding, which is nice, but doesn't really have much else. This style works if you're able to win fights, cripple the economy, contain the Terran player on the low base counts, have them trade out and lose SCVs regularly. Making 2 Colossus at a time. And he's once again moving out. So once again, it's finally moving out. Now we spoke earlier that herO, where Zealots can really thrive, where they can be at their best, is fighting out in the open. With flanks as well, with surrounds. So Clem has to respect the army, he has to be careful. Nice EMP. He goes up, he kites well. Colossus, they try to engage. Vikings, they just go to town, they shut down the Colossus. And with that Clem, he should be able to break through. And cleans up the army for the 3rd time. And this should be herO's final stand. Got a couple of Zealots, a couple of Stalkers. Yeah, no power units, no splash damage. He can't afford it, he has no gas. And we can just stim and win. We can stim in, baby. Can just keep pushing. Takes out the expansion. And it's just been a slow death here for herO for the past 10 minutes. It's I mean, again, like, herO was pretty all in. It all came down to the first push, the first failed, like, Colossus move out. The first failed attack of the 3rd. That's what it all came down to. Since then, Clem has taken the lead and has maintained that lead the entire time. You can definitely argue that Clem can definitely be more aggressive and more assertive here. I mean, he's maxed. He's up 40 supply. Yo, I'm getting some Beyond versus Hero flashbacks. I mean, oh no, not like this. Not as extreme, to be fair. So here's build up Colossus once again. Clem has half his army here. He also picked up at the wrong moments, a really rough moments. You're moving in. Clem is out of position. He's racing over. Okay. Hero takes down the planetary. Ooh, but the army has arrived. Catching up the Colossus at the same time, massive warp into the main. Here he'll lose his main army at the same time, warp into the main base, but there's production back at home. Did kill 15 SCVs, but Hero will lose everything. This is main army. For the 4th time. Ah. Let's go Hero being as annoying as possible. Gets in. I mean, again, got 16 SCVs. Nice. Again, here he's just hoping to catch Clem out of position. Does recall top left. Interesting. Does love to recall. Clem, he's already remaxed. Getting to Liberators. We got more Zealots on the way. Jeez. Spear Zealot. It's all Hero can afford. He has no gases. Just now taking gases to afford anything else. Clem is pushing in. Pushing into the base. It denies the warp in as well. Ah. It does catch out part of the army, at least tries to. Getting a handful of SCVs. And again, this is also, there we go. GG gets called. GG gets called. And Clem, he will take game number 1. Now, fun fact, I was about to say that this is also a little bit on Clem, because Clem, he refused to ever engage into bases. He pushed twice this game. He had 2 move outs where he was able to win fights and push into like 1 expansion. But despite being maxed out, Clem, he never really attacked. And even here towards the end when Hero finally tapped out, Clem still didn't attack, by the way. He was being very defensive, very safe back at home instead. To be fair, that is the correct way to play. It is the correct way to play against a charge heavy composition, so that is true, is the correct thing to do, but GG. Unfortunately, because Clem had such a lead, could have tried to have ended it sooner, but we're just being very safe instead. GG. GG well played. With that, we're getting into game 2. We're going to be loading into Torches. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Torches, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. In the series 1-0, it is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. Sorry, the red Protoss. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go, and welcome on all to Torches. Torches is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Much more aggressive, shorter rush distance by ground, and often vetoed here, so we'll see how our players do approach Torches. Again, you can try to expand towards your opponents. There are these center gold bases. We have healing pads on the left-hand side, and we also have some really awkward bases here towards the left, towards the center. You have this area in between the bases. All-ins can be very strong, can be very powerful here, and we'll see if Clem does go for something more aggressive this time. Winding it back, herO, this style that he went for can be very effective, and he has beaten Clem with it before as well. This mass zealot style, right? This mass zealot composition where you're able to catch out the army, overwhelm. But as we mentioned, Clem, he almost never pushed. He almost never moved out of his bases. He was fighting for map control, true, and there were again like these like 2 or 3 big moments where he was able to take a fight and push out across the map, but they were few and far between. Clem, for the most part, was being more defensive, and that is the correct thing to do against this Zella heavy composition. Meanwhile, double gas. Double gas opener out of Clem, going for a faster factory this time. Now, because the rush distance by air is so short on torches, we do often see a lot of Banshee play. The meta has shifted quite a bit in this matchup, on this map. We have seen a lot of Cloak Banshee play at the same time. Because of that, we've seen a lot of Stargate play as well. Because we saw a rise of Stargate play, that triggered a bunch of all-ins. Okay. Oh no. It's okay, it's okay. Shout out to Rex. Rex is, of course, a Taiwanese caster. I mean, I say Taiwanese caster. Was a pro player for a long time, but in recent years has shifted to casting and content creation. Much love to Rex. Much love. Esther Rex. Delbridge. As here is going for a Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener out of herO. So just airing out the room a little bit. It's very hot here in Australia. It's hot back. So Twilight Council into blink. Meanwhile, Clem going to be opening up with a Mind Drop. The Mind Drop is on the way. And again, typically aggression is favored here on torches. Longer and later games are a little bit rare, or if we ever do see them, like, it's a little bit more chaotic. And likewise, we should be seeing herO adjust his style here. The attack paths are very limited on torches, so going for like these very Zella heavy compositions and Zella round buys, it's less effective here. As we have 3 gate blink out of herO. Oh, hello Clem. So he's going for his first drop. Tank production has begun. Viking as well. He's rallying. He's going to rally across the map. Hyper aggression here out of Clem. He starts with the drop, and then he's going to keep pushing. Oh boy. He's on the pylon. First tank has arrived. Second tank is on the way. As we mentioned, again, he's rallying. He's just rallying everything across the map. It's a hyper-aggressive build here. Rushing into tanks, rushing into Vikings. Basically an all-in. So Clem is going for his 2 base all-in. A herO back at home. He needs shield batteries, needs to engage ahead of time as well. He's trying to. He blinks in. Oh god. He blinks forward. We'll lose the sentry, we'll lose the stalker. Crazy blink out of herO, wasn't worth it. No, he blinks again! Oh my god, losing another stalker. Gets a medevac, but he bleeds out 1, 2, 3. Oh god, 3 stalkers go down, the adept as well. Patience, calm down. So some crazy blinks here, and here he gets punished. Ay, ay, ay. Patience, you're meant to be in the military. What's going on? So some very nice trades here from Clem. He trades well. Oh, Jesus. Here once again blinks forward, once again gets punished. Here we're gonna calm down on the blinks back. Oh my god. As he does counterattack. He races across the map. Oh, catching reinforcements, not bad. Gets a tank. Oh no, he blinks into the army once again. I can't do it. Oh no. Was that what, the 5th time this game that he just blinked into the army? Ay, ay, ay. That was less intentional, of course, as he tried to blink away. Ah. Be careful here, be careful. Calm down. As a hero, he survived the push at least. True, he survived the push, he survived the attack. But he bled out to 8 Stalkers in the process. 8 Stalkers, a Sentry, Pylon the Adepts. Better trade for Clem. Hero going for the forward expansion. And we're slowing things down. Now, thankfully, even though Hero survived the more aggressive build here from Clem, he preserved the tanks, right? The tanks were preserved. He lost 1 tank in the process. He saved most of the army, which means Clem still has a really strong timing with Stim. So Stim, combat shields +1, once they all kick in, and Clem, you can move out once again. And of course, he's taking a 3rd base. So no all-in is taking a 3rd. He spots the army. They spot each other. Gotta look for this. Gotta look for the scans. Scans does get eyes on the third base. As Clem rotates, a hero, he comes in from behind. Okay, gets a couple of SCVs. 1, 2, 3 SCVs going down. A storm on the main army. But Clemmy gets away, doesn't lose anything. Clemmy does pull away in time, does establish his 3rd base. What's scary about this 3rd, of course, is that we're expanding towards the Protoss. So it doesn't take long at all to push across the map. Hero once again going for a very gateway heavy composition. As you can see here, no gases. No gases at the 3rd base, no gases at the 4th base either. Going for mass zealots. The downside of this, of course, no splash damage. No storm, no Colossus. Does coming from behind, gets a tank. Tank is going to go down. I believe he's out a lot of zealots. And the backstab is late. Yeah, the backstab is delayed. Ideally, when you're distracting here, you want to hit the mineral line. The hero just now moving in. Oh, sorry, I said no splash damage. Sorry, there is Storm. Apologies. Storm was researched. Oh, gets the mineral line. Getting a handful of SCVs. So a handful of workers going down. Oh, those are Brutal EMP. Oh. Brutal EMP on the High Templar. Clem, he maintains his economy. Currently, we have 0 High Templar. Hero rushing into the gold. Let's go. I mean, these gold bases, they do help with the Zealot heavy style. True. They help quite a bit if he can get it up and running. Can he get it up? Hero catching another tank. Getting a Ghost as well, not bad. Yeah, Ghost go down. Clem, he's gonna lose his mineral line. He'll lose control of the 3rd. Nice damage here by Hero. And Hero, he might just be able to keep pushing. Ooh, where's the Storm? Storm is a little bit late. At the same time, Clem, we dropped across the map, but GG gets called. Yeah, Hero, he breaks through the main army, and Hero ties up the series. Whew, GG. Does tie the series up, but we are going into, we have a series, we have a back and forth. GG, well played. Again, here he was able to get some much better engagements here on the right hand side, was able to take advantage of his own bases, his own economy. We saw that Clem, he had, I would say, a better start. He had a much better start catching out all those Stalkers, but this time we actually had a much more open setup here on the 3 bases. We spoke in the previous game how this Zealot heavy style really struggles against SimCity, against all these choke points. As you saw, Clem didn't really have any setup specifically at his 3rd base, right? The base was on its own. There was no bunkers, no depots, no CC next to the 3rd either. So the Zealots had a much easier time engaging with the army. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth. We're loading into Tokamak. Now, is herO going to commit to this again? Is he gonna... He may just. I mean, Tokamak is a little bit more ideal for it. We'll get into it. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid being forced into a tied series. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. We go. Now we're going to Tokamak, as opposed to Torches, which is a much more aggressive map, and I feel like the game itself did kind of lean towards that style and did kind of lend to that. Here we have a much larger map, a longer rush distance by ground, a much more defensive as a result, and we often see a lot of late game on Tokamak. Not just because of how defensive it is, but also because if you can gain map control, you have so much room for yourself to mass expand. So if a Protoss player can contain the Terran on 2 and then 3 and then 4 bases, the Protoss often does take every expansion on the map and does have hybrid bases as well to help with this mass zealot style. So these larger maps do typically favor Protoss and PvT just because it allows them to mass expand. Here we go. As here he does force a slightly obstructed natural. It does force that slightly off center. But from here we're building up. This time Clem is going for an economic opener. This time racks expand. Last game we saw double gas into the earlier tank push, if you recall. Where ideally Clem wanted to break the natural. Oh. Are we setting up for proxy Stargate? Okay, it's been a while. It has been a while here. But here, there was a time a couple of months ago where he was very fond of going proxy Stargate in this matchup. If it's a Stargate, then it should be for proxy Oracle. Cybercore is done. Show us what you got. Yeah, there it is, proxy Stargate. So the goal here is to go proxy Stargate into Oracles, to rush into the mineral lines and to deal critical economic damage. We'll see if we can get away with it. Again, there was a time like towards the beginning of the year before EWC where here was embracing this quite a lot. Then it died down. Let's see if we can pull this off. The Oracle's being chronoed. Being chronoed as we speak. Clem so far has yet to realize what's happening. He has not scouted into the main, so he doesn't see that the tech is missing. So lack of scouting here out of Clem, it's gonna hurt him. Oracle's on the way. And what do we have in the main base to defend? We have some Marines at the natural. Marines are thankfully somewhat in position. Oracle's moving in. Oh, does spot the army. And does hit the mineral line. And so far getting 1, 2, 3 SCVs, not bad. Oh, getting to 4. And this also delays the drop. So 5 SCV kills, delays the drop, keeps Clem busy back at home, and so far a nice start for here. Is a nice start. Now the downside of this build, of course, late Twilight Council, late Blink, late Charge, late upgrades. So here he is vulnerable early on. Ideally, the Oracle keeps Clem at home, but Clem is pushing. He's dropping. Clem moves out. Hero's trying to keep up. Oh, nice lift. It does lift, and herO, he should shut this down. Zones away the army. Some awkward piloting here at a herO. Throws away a stalker. Bit of awkward control. herO tries to engage. Clem trying to bait the army into tank range. Tank is spotted. herO backs up. So far, decent engagement from herO, again, just slowing down the push. Clem is rallying. Is going for the Viking. Is rallying across the map. Getting a third Viking. Put up the shade in. And we have no add-ons. Yeah, no add-ons, no tech lab, no stim, no nothing. Clem, he's committed. That's why we have landed Vikings. Yeah, Liberator's on the way. And the goal here for Clem is to break the third and to end the game. Just straight up in the game. Remember, he has 0 upgrades. No stim, no combat shields, no +1, no nothing. It's all about this push. It's all about the 2 weeks all in. First tank does get picked up. Gets one, gets both. Nice target firing here at a herO. Does get both tanks. Clem trying to rush forward, but he has no more tanks left. That was the backbone of his army. Blink is done in 3 seconds. And herO, he should be able to hold on here. Should just barely. Clem, he's running out of steam. Oh, does have another tank. Okay. The tank does arrive. Does siege up. And with that tank, Clem, he might just have too much. That was close. Here, he was so close. Does go for another warp in. Dives on the tank. Dives on the Liberator. Tank. Oh, a bit of missed target firing there. Yeah, tank goes down, but it's too late. Yeah, too late. He lost so much in the process. Down to 4 stalkers. Liberator's the main. Okay, that is all that herO has left. Liberator will siege. And Clem, he has a high ground. Yeah, he's just zoning herO away. Oh, does try to at least. And boys are being pulled, getting 19 probe kills. Oh my god, the Liberator. 20 probes go down. Critical damage. And Clem, remember, he's still rallying. He's still rallying. His 2 basic economies left untouched, so he can just keep producing. Third CC has begun. That's after the fact. After he has killed the third. And here again, he just barely didn't have enough to hold. Once again, blinking in. It's a tank. Takes down the tank, takes down the Liberator. He bleeds out a little stalkers in the first. Oh no! Bleeds out little stalkers. Rough movements. And there's no saving the expansion. There's no saving the third base. And Clem, he just keeps going. Jesus. Just keeps on pushing. Here he's going to attempt to surround. Likewise, so is Clem. There's a blink. Takes down the tank once again. Nice stepping here out of Clem. He does punish the blink. And Clem, he has another tank. He has more reinforcements. Punishes the blink once again for herO. Punishes the army. herO going for the counterattack. Clem does decide to just keep pushing. Rotates once again. He's checking, making sure there's no third. There's no backup base. There's no expansion. Here, he's at least buying time. Clem turns everything back around. Here he's buying time at least. Force a recall. And Clem just has a massive supply lead here. Over double the supply. Army supply is, I should say. here, and now he has his upgrade. Stim is now done. Combat shields as well. +1 just now finishing up. And here he cannot defend against this. There's just too much. Too many marauders, tanks, the bio army. Too many losses for herO. And it was close. Like here, he almost saved his third. Almost. Just barely didn't have enough. And herO going for his final stand. Can't get on top of the tanks. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Clem, who will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. GG well played. Again, a very calculated move out of Clem. Winding it back, as a reminder, how did herO open up? Proxy Stargate. Proxy Stargate with the Oracle across the map. Because of that, his tech and his ground army was lacking, was delayed, and Clem's 2-base all-in was designed to punish, right? It was designed to punish a player that was investing into that proxy, into that Stargate, into those Oracles. In the end, herO, he did finish up Blink, but again, he barely didn't have enough to hold on. Was unable to clean up the tanks in time, unable to save the third base. With that, we're now getting into game number 4. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran for Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1 down in the series. He has to win this game to force the ace match. It is herO. We go. herO being as annoying as possible, he delays the racks for like a second. So cheeky starts. But from here we're settling in. And welcome to Pylon. Pylon is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Smaller map, but Russia's background is shorter. Aggression and all-ins are favored on Pylon. So we're expecting something more aggressive out of Clem. So we're expecting. Likewise, we're expecting safe play out of herO. 3-gate Blink, Robo on 2 bases. Maybe extra gases as well. We'll see. Duh. So I'm just opening up some windows. Aye, aye, aye. Let's have a look. God, it's gonna be 36 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Lovely. It's gonna get even harder. Let's go. Let's go. But now though, we do have our tech of choice. Once again, Twilight Council out of herO. I say once again, last game it was a Proxy Stargate. Cheeky build out of herO, but he was kind of punished for it. This time, going for something more standard. Going for the Twilight Council. Likewise, that is a fast second Rax out of Clem. It's looking like a 2-base all-in. This is either going to be a third Rax into a very committed kind of bio push with tank production, or we're going for a quote-unquote 2-on-1. This won't be a stim timing though. This is going to be an early tank push with Viking support. Oh, sorry, with Metavax, followed by Viking and Liberator support. So we'll see if he goes for the starport or the third Rax. Third Rax is on the way, Jesus. Which means we're building up that marine count. We're going for a stim timing. With this, Clem can pull the boys. He can pull the boys. Basically, what's happening here is that we are delaying the starport. The starport is heavily delayed for Clem in favor of stim, in favor of upgrades, and in favor of a mass marine army. This hits quite hard. It's quite hard. I mean, it is an all-in. And herO has yet to confirm. Yeah, he hasn't seen the extra axes. They're too far back. Doesn't see what's happening. Back at home, herO, he is getting 2 more gates, so he's getting to 3-gate blink. This is typically a very safe build, but herO, he needs to be active with his army. Ideally, against these kind of all-ins, against these kind of pushes, you want to be active out on the map to slow it down, to pick away Marines and to force early sieges and to buy as much time as possible for what? For immortal production, right? The robo's finishing up, thankfully. So robo on 2 bases, and herO, he needs those immortals, he needs those stalkers, needs whatever he can get. herO once again doesn't get into the main. For all he knows, it could be a starport, there could be Banshee production. I mean, I say that he does see the abundance of Marines. He takes notes of the lack of tank, at least yet. Yeah, the tank is kept further back. Building up that tank count, so building up towards them. Clem, he will soon pull the trigger. Oh. And here he's more concerned with scouting. He's fanning out his stalkers. He's more concerned with drop play. Finds the Reaper Hellion. I start stepping here out of Clem. Gets 2 adepts. 2 adepts go down, and you can see that Clem, he's hiding his main army. At least until now. Here he blinks in, he gives chase. Tanks repunish. And now herO knows. Yeah, now he sees the tanks, he sees the marauders, so now he knows what's going on. Stim is done. herO going into the... Oh no! He's gonna be denied. Yeah, barely denied in time. Yeah. herO, he was gonna try to blink into the main base to delay the push. He's denied. Yeah, brutal snipe on the observer. Does force the siege. And here come the immortals. We spoke about it, right? We need to buy time for immortals, for shield batteries, for extra warp-ins. Here he needs time. Goes to the backside. We'll catch a couple of Marines. It's a Marine. He gets a sniper marauder. Clem rotating over towards the 3rd. Does siege. Is within range. Brutal dive here out of herO. Yeah, he blinks in, gets 1, gets 2 tanks, but he will lose everything. He blinked into mass marauder, fam. Yeah. That was not the blink to go for. Yeah, not at all. herO, he gets punished. That was a crazy blink, by the way. God. Patience. Stop playing for herO, man. Yeah. And with that herO, this is just a brutal trade. Looks like herO, he may barely clean this up. He saves the base, but at a cost. That was 16 stalkers going down. That's crazy. $16 stalkers behind this. Clem, he's expanding. It's late, but he is getting a 3rd. The stalker goes down. Brutal loss there for herO. Miss Rally as well. No. Yeah, Miss Rally's the immortal. Immortal goes down for free. These are losses that herO cannot afford. Wanting a bad herO, he has no coolant worker count. He does at least save the 3rd base. That does help. But ideally, he defends the base, he has a stalker lead, then he can counterattack and contain. That's not the case here. Like, Clem is not contained. He can freely expand, freely move out, and Clem still has momentum, still has that army supply lead. So Clem has the advantage. He has the advantage here. The push was successful enough. Could have been much worse, I admit. The only worst thing that could have been there for herO is if he had lost the 3rd, right? If he had lost the 3rd base, like, that would have been game. That would have been game 100%. But here he's still behind. Like, here he's still in a really rough place. So true, could have been worse, but it's still not ideal. Oh, the armies, they pass by each other. Okay, let's go. They do pass by. Clemmy turns back around. You're collapsing on the tank once again. Tank goes down. Oh, the Mine Shells are brutal. Oh my god. Yeah, Mine Shells, they pop off. They shut down all the Zealots. Zealots go down. And here he will take the fight. Denies the warp in. And warp in is denied. And here he will lose everything. The Immortals, the Sentries. Here he plummets in supply. And Clem, he can just stim across the map. He can just stim in. Clem with a massive advantage. He has triple the army supply. Clem can just rally. Again, it was a rough position for herO, and an even worse fight. Oof, brutal depower. Depowers all the gateways. The rover's still up, but not for much longer. And Clem is just going for the kill. Going for the kill, going for the throat. Again, those Widow Mines were brutal. Brutal connections. And the Immortal does not spawn in. It doesn't warp in time. And with that, we have our finalist. GG gets called. Clem, he takes down herO 3-1. 3-1 and does advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a hyper-aggressive build here out of Clem. Didn't kill herO, but did cripple. Did cripple herO. Here, he had a really rough fight at his third base where he lost 16 Stalkers. 16 Stalkers went down in that defense. It was brutal. Yes, here he saved his third base, but Clem traded well enough. He traded well enough to take a lead, to gain the advantage, and here he tried to recover. He went for a bit of a Hail Mary play. He tried to go for like a base trade. Clem turned around. herO was forced to engage, and herO had a massive amount of Zealots, but we had some crazy Widow Mine shots. He lost every Zealot. Warpin was denied. GG. GG, well played. Clem snowballed from there. Congratulations. And with that, we have our two finalists here. So we update the bracket. Here we go. From the top, we have Creator. If you recall, Creator, he 3-0'd Percival, he 3-0'd SHIN, and Creator is in the grand finals. Meanwhile, Clem took down Classic, took down herO. Both Classic and herO did make him bleed. They both took some games off of Clem, but in the end, Clem, he does advance on to the grand finals for a TVP between Clem and Creator. Let's go. Let us go. Clem is so good. I mean, at the same time, I would say that herO did misjudge a couple of moments in this series. We saw it on Torches as well. Like, Torches was brutal. Like, we saw it on Torches. I mean, herO did win on Torches in the end. But we saw it on Torches. We saw it here as well, where herO did kind of like misjudge some fights and did overextend and overcommit and into some worse engagements. He got punished for it quite hard here. Quite hard on Pylon. He was still able to make it work on Torches. But GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into the grand finals. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. After the break, we will have that best of 7, not a best of 5, best of 7 finals between Clem and Creator. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. Back, everyone. Welcome back to the Grand Finals. Those Grand Finales here of the LiuLi Cup number 46, day number 2. We are here. We are back. We have our top 2 players. Bam! As you can, there we go. As you can see here before you, we have Clem and Creator. Clem, he's been playing nothing but TVP. Just purely, he beat Classic. He beat herO. Now he's up against Creator in the Grand Finals. Creator, he's had a lot more of a diverse kind of road here to the finals. Took down Percival, took down SHIN as well in the semis. Now he's up against Clem in those finals. And Clem is a brutal opponent. Clem, he has the best TVP in the world. He has the best TVP. He has been very vocal about his disdain for the matchup and his struggles in the matchup as well. But the reality is that you do not get better than Clem in the Terran versus Protoss matchup. In years past, we had players like Cure, right? You could make very strong arguments that Cure had the best TVP. This was like 2022, 2023. But of course, 2021, 2022. But in more recent years, Clem has kind of taken that mantle from him. They're both on the same team, of course. They both work on the matchup together. But Clem has been looking much more dominant, of course, as the reigning world champion from last year. And of course, the best Terran in the world. And here we go. We're getting into that best of 7 Grand Finals. Creator, really impressive play to see him make it this far. Not gonna lie, I was not really pinning Creator to be one to make it this far, especially on his half of the bracket where we had Beyond, where we had SHIN, but no, Creator does rise up instead. And we'll see how he compares. We'll see how he differs from both Classic and herO. Let's go. We're loading into game 1. Gonna be loading into Persephone. Bearing in mind the herO, he was going for a very zealot dense and zealot heavy composition, which is more standard in longer later games. herO, he was rushing there a little bit sooner. We'll see if Creator heads in that direction as well. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Protoss player. Okay, the red Protoss from South Korea, it is Creator. I'll set up his name. Feels bar good, man. Bam, there we go. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have going for a proxy, by the way, as 2 SCVs are being sent across the map. God damn it. We have the French Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Again, we have the 2 SCVs being sent across the map. Clem, he's going to be committing here with Proxy 2-Rax Reaper as gases are being taken, and it's going to be up to Creator to scout to confirm what exactly is going on. Now, thankfully, Creator, he is going for a probe scout across the map. He will confirm that a Rax is missing, but it could be a singular Rax, could be 2 Rax, could be a Marauder, of course. Regardless, Creator at least will have a bit of a heads up that something is wrong. As the probe is being sent in. Creator back at home, going gate expand. Ooh. He sees, okay, thankfully. He does go in, he does scout, he does confirm. Despite that, there it is. We have the Cyber Core, but late gas here. You saw that, I don't know if you noticed, but Creator, he was actually banking up to 400 minerals. He was going to go for a gate expand. Now he reacts, but it's a late tech choice here. Late reaction, late gases. As he's now setting up. As he originally wanted to go for a faster Nexus. You know, Clem setting up the bunker. Reapers are on the way. And I'll say so far, a nice start for Clem. It's a nice start. So it does pop out. As we're trying to work on that bunker. Waiting for the Reapers. And Reaper has arrived. We're trying to buy time for the Stalker. Does force a cancel, not bad. And Creator is going to be contained a little bit longer here on 1 base. Ooh, as he will lose a second pro. Oh no! Almost gets us around. And Reaper tries to get away. And barely does not. Whew. Okay. Nice catch there from Creator. Nice catch. There's a cancellation. Now we can expand. Now we can break out. So the game will continue from here. Creator now expanding. Back at home, we do see a factory follow-up, a safety bunkers on the way for the counterattack, and CC on the high ground. The game will continue. Now, did Clem do enough damage? He killed 2 probes. He did delay the expansion as well, so delayed natural, delayed saturation. He also forced out early zealots. He forced out early units. So there was some indirect damage, but it wasn't too bad. So we can just calm down, we can settle in. We'll see what the follow-up is going to be for Clem. I would imagine that he's going to keep the momentum up. He has 2 Raxes. Does he get a 3rd Rax, or does he go for a starport? That's what I'm curious about. 3rd Rax. Oh, okay. Hyper aggression out of Clem. If you remember, we saw this same setup, not the same build, just because we started with a proxy this game, of course, but we had the same setup here last game against herO. Again, same setup, right? Same setup we just had on Pylon, with Clem setting up for a 2-base all-in where he was able to take a better fight. He didn't kill the 3rd base of herO, but he took enough of a lead. Same setup here against Creator in game 1. So we have a 3-1 setup here, tank production into stim, combat shields. This is going to be a very strong follow-up here from Clem. Very committed. It's up to Creator to scout. To scout what's going on, to engage ahead of time, and to start up his stalkers, and ideally immortals at home as well. Oh god, never mind. He will rush into, he rushed into the 3rd base. It makes sense. He's going 2-gate blink into a 3rd. This is to make up for the late natural, right? Like, Creator, his natural is delayed, so he's being greedy as a response, which is why this build, this follow-up from Clem, makes even more sense. It's going to be even more powerful here as Creator's being greedy. So Creator is skipping warp ins, he's delaying his production, delaying his tech. Hallucination will confirm. Yep, does get eyes on the 3-1 setup. Is aware of stim. Is aware of the upgrades. Now, but just because Creator knows doesn't mean he can stop it. There's a 3rd gateway. Robo now has begun. But delayed immortal production. Okay, drastic, but this can work. Dark Shrine. Now, this Dark Shrine is meant to allow Creators to survive. Now, because we're setting up for a 2-base all-in, what does that mean? Oh, starport's on the way. We're not pushing. Interesting. But if this was a 2-base all-in, scans would be limited because you'd be muling your heart out, right? You're going to be muling as much as possible, just squeezing out as many resources as you can to commit to an all-in. So DTs defensively can actually work really well. But Clem knows he got scouted. He does go for the starport, which means he may get a 3rd CC. It's very aggressive. It's a very committed build nonetheless. But he can expand from here. If you remember last game on Pylon against herO, he pushed without the starport. Without the starport, without medevac support. As a result, this is a later move out. So we have the eBay, we have +1 attack on the way as well. So again, Clem is setting up for a longer game. Does have a large army to work with, but again, he's not moving out. He went for the add-on swap as well, so no additional tank production. DTs are on the way. And Clem, he does not have a scan. Uh-oh. And no scan for Clem. Nice pick up. Speak about it. Creator, he does get the tank. At the same time, DT does slip past. 3rd CC is on the way, so again, Clem is building up into a longer game. And damage is going to be done. At the same time, though, Clem has a massive army. SCVs are falling. Does have a scan. Does defend. Still 5 SCV kills. It's 5 workers, brutal damage. As Clem is slowly going to be expanding and we're building up into a longer game. Okay, so the game is slowing down. Began with a proxy, began with aggression, but now we're slowing things down. Creator is getting a 4th base, Clem is getting his 3rd. We have double Robo, double Colossus production on the way from Creator. Not going for Storm, going for Colossus. Going for a more Colossus heavy build. And we'll see what Clem can get done. Now, as we're getting ready for Colossus, Clem still has momentum. He still has a larger army. He's moving out. The Colossus are not ready yet. So, Creator, he is vulnerable. Army gets spotted. Creator, he knows. Creator, he responds. DT into the 3rd. Very nice harass. Gets 2 more SCVs and Ice Mining. But Clem is moving in. Yeah, he denies the Zealots. He shuts them down. And Creator, he cannot engage. He cannot engage. Not into this much bio. He's gonna try though. Yeah, Zealot's added Force Friendly Fire. Warping is denied. The 4th base goes down. And Clem, he can stem. He can stem. He can win. He can just focus on everything. Gets 1 Immortal. Gets a 2nd as well. And the Colossus just aren't ready. Yeah, the Colossus are not ready in time. Just now popping out. Clem, he can just keep pushing. Voids are being pulled. Creator getting desperate. 2nd Colossus arrives. But Clem, he can just snowball at control. He takes out another Colossus. 13 probe kills. Backs off. He can regroup. He can keep pushing. Can just keep pushing. Even just taking advantage of the healing pad. Let's go. Healing pad popping off. And again, Creator just being a little bit too greedy here. Delayed his tech, delayed his splash damage, and without the Colossus, he could just never save his 4th. He'd never hold on to it. Whether it's Colossus or Storm, right? Regardless of splash damage. Ada could not defend. And Clem, he's backing off. He's backing off, getting a 4th CC. To be honest, Clem could just keep pushing. He could just keep going. He could get a 2nd starport and go into mass Viking production, which is what's happening. He's got 2 starports up and running. But Clem, he takes his lead. He's going to extend his lead. Here, the pressure's on Creator to recover in some way. The way to do so would be with like a Zealot run by, a Zealot counterattack, a DT run by as well. If he can somehow get into one of these bases and get some economic damage, then maybe he can recover. But more or less, he's kind of relying on Clem making mistakes and Clem being out of position. Otherwise, Clem, I mean, he's maxed. Like, he's maxing out in a couple of moments here. He's about to max out. He's going to be at what, 40 supply? Oh. It's a beefy army as well. A lot of Marauders, a lot of Vikings. Ghost Academy's on the way. And here comes Clem. He gets spotted. Okay, what do we have? So Creator, he has 3 Colossus. He has a bit of a gateway composition, a little bit. Yeah, Vikings, they just go to town. They get 1, they get 2. Colossus are being hunted down. Yeah, there's no other support here. Storm is only halfway done. Vikings, they can land. And Clem, he should break through. Okay, he stems in, lands the Vikings, gets on top of the Immortals. Only Stalkers remain. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem, he will take a lead in the series, and again, it was a really chaotic start to the game. We saw that Creator, he was able to defend, able to take his third base, but tech-wise, he was a little bit greedy. He delayed his tech, he delayed his Bay, he delayed his Colossus production. As a result, Clem was able to snowball out of control, break the fourth base, and never really allowed Creator to get into his game and to get into the mid-game. Was just one step behind from that moment. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem takes the lead, but it's a best of 7. Best of 7, we got plenty of games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. We're going to be loading into Ultra Love for game number 2. Wow, Colossi are really bad. They're really good, actually. They're really good. Once again, winding it back, if you remember, the big deciding moments in that game was when Creator failed to defend his fourth base, and I was trying to emphasize one of the reasons why he failed to defend his fourth base was because he had no Colossi. Because he decided to go for a second Robo and go for a delayed double Colossus production after he had built up 4 Immortals. If you remember, he had 4 Immortals initially, which would have been good against an all-in, but if you remember, there wasn't an all-in. It was a bit of a later attack instead. So there's kind of like a lot that came into play there. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner. The top right-hand corner here of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player going for a double gas opener from Atlanta, France. Representing Team Liquid, it is a Clem. Let us go. But yeah, things can be a little bit deceiving. Because when it came to the last game, the game ended and Clem had a really dominating fight. That is true, but you can make a really strong argument that Clem, he won the game well ahead of that, right? Where he was able to cripple the economy, break the fourth base. He was able to catch all 4 Immortals, if you remember. He reset the Immortal counts. I mean, he reset the army, I should say, of Creator. That was before the main fight. That was like 3 minutes before the end of the game. Like, that's when Clem really kind of like set the stage and took his lead and gained momentum. So the fight was dominant, but the fight was decided well ahead of time. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2. Once again, sorry, so double gas. Double gas opener means a faster factory, a more tech-heavy start out of Clem. Welcome to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is a smaller map in the map pool. Aggression is more favored here on this map. Shorter rushes to spike ground. And more abusable positions as well. So we're expecting hyper aggression out of Clem, but we'll see. We should also be seeing safer builds and safer play out of Creator. Voting is closed on the new maps, right? When do they announce the winners/results? Yes, voting did conclude on Sunday, so a couple of days ago. 2 days ago, voting did conclude. It'll take a little bit for the results to come in, and if you're curious when the new map pool goes live, November. I think it's like first week of November, like first or second week. Early November should be when the new map pool is finalized and goes live in game. Until then, it isn't just the TLMC results that have to conclude, which will soon be revealed to the public, but after that, then the map pool has to be constructed. If you remember, Wax, shout out to Wax, very quick tangent, shout out to Wax Angel, he's the, oh Jesus, we're going for the drop. This is old school, okay, we're going for the Hellion drop into the main, let's go! This is very old school, this was very popular last year, so I say old school, it's a little bit deceiving. This was very trendy last year in 2024, going for Hellion drops into the bases. This did kind of die off and did kind of fall by the wayside. Stargate open out of Creator, and he scouts, he sees, he knows. Yeah, it does spot this. Wow, it does force a cancel on the medevac. Quick reaction out of Clem. As soon as he saw the Phoenix, he canceled. Yeah, he did cancel, did recognize it wasn't going to work. And we're going into Macville accelerators here. Let's go. Hellions, they go for the dive. Bearing in mind, 3 Hellions, 1-shot probes. So 3 Hellions is all you need. Gets into the middle line, probes are lining up, and you can see they're being 1-shot. 4 probes. 4 probes do go down. Nice lift on the Hellion, and we can get maybe 1 more volley of 5 probe kills. Getting up to 6. 6 probes for 4 Hellions. It's an okay trade, and bearing in mind, this is not mech. This is not mech. This is a Macfield Accelerated Cyclone follow-up, but that is only because we need anti-air to defend against what? To defend against the Phoenixes. Remember, it was a Stargate. So Stargate opener out of Creator. So we need that anti-air. Clem is racing back. And Creator, he will gain map control. Here we go. But winding it back, what I was getting at is that Wax Angel, he is the admin for the Team Liquid map contest. Like, he's the person that organizes it. And if you remember, he did actually post a poll. He posted a poll to the public on Reddit. This was maybe a week ago, two weeks ago, I think, like around 2 weeks ago. And he was asking the public whether or not the map pool should be 9 fresh maps, 7 fresh maps, and 2 old maps, or like another combination, right? Another combination of like how many old and how many new. So when I say that the Team Liquid map contest is the first thing, the other thing is how the map pool is constructed. Wax is going to be, he is organizing that, like whether, like how many new maps, how many old maps, and which maps are added. If you remember, the top 2 from the TLMC, they are confirmed in the new map pool, but the rest of the maps, it's kind of like up to how it's like constructed. When I say how it's constructed, obviously you want some rush maps, you want some macro maps, you want like a nice balance of things for how the map pool is kind of like brought together. Clem's moving out. Now, I did say that this wasn't going to be mech, that we were just getting a bunch of anti-air to defend against the Phoenixes. It is mech. We're getting more factories. We're getting a second factory. Let's go. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen, this is now, I think, the second game that we've seen mech against Protoss on the new patch. As we do see some nice force fields looking down the Marines. Marines are being shot down by the Cyclones. They do get some lock-ons off. Nicely done. Now, the last time we saw mech against Protoss was Ryung. If you remember Ryung, it was a couple of days ago, he played against Geralt, and he was able to embrace mech, but it was a very different form of mech. He played a more traditional form, like heavy tank Viking style instead. Here, it's battle mech, Mass Cyclone. Jesus. And he's popping up. Like the Mass Cyclone, he gets the lock-ons, he zones away, he pulls back the Stalkers. And we cannot keep up. Yeah, the Phoenixes cannot keep up against this. I mean, the Phoenixes are dead supply. Zelts are warping in, charge is done. And Zelts are coming from behind. Collapse in from behind, we just kite into the bases. Clem trading very efficiently, getting six probes. Most of the Phoenixes. Most of the Phoenixes do go down. And behind this, embracing battle mech, going into Blue Flame and more Cyclones. Here we go. So triple factory production. As a reminder, battle mech was nerfed in the recent patch with the fix to the Cyclone. It's not as strong as it once was, but Clem is whipping out of here nonetheless. And it's specific, I want to say this is a reaction to the Stargate play, right? To the Mass Phoenix. As you've seen, the Phoenixes have been struggling a lot to really gain any value here. They try to pick up like a Cyclone at a time, but they get punished for it. And that's a lot of resources, a lot of gas, a lot of minerals spent, and in a way kind of wasted on these Phoenixes, so far at least. They haven't been worth it. Until now. They get an SCV. They get an SCV. More mech on the way, more factories. Likewise, I'm pretty sure Wax, he's like going through like a bunch of the tournaments that featured the new maps to kind of figure out like what is best to kind of like bring all together. And he's been very transparent with it as well, which we appreciate. Oh, Phoenixes A2 managed to get some lifts off. Okay, we get 4 lifts off. 2 Phoenixes go down. So let me just keep rallying in. Brutal lock-ons here on those Zealots. Vikings being chased down. At least he resets the Viking count. Vikings reset. Creator rushing in. And rushing all the way across the map, trying to get into the mineral lines. Pushing into the third. But is this worth it? As he will lose the Archon. Archon goes down, and Clem, he's running out of Cyclones, down to only 3. Yeah, Cyclone count is very low. But Creator is running out of steam. He's running out of reinforcements. Creator, he has to back off, and Clem can just chase. That's the power of Battle Mech. You can chase, you can punish. Thanks to the Cyclone. Cleans up all the Zealots, resets the Phoenix count. Expensive losses here for Creator. GG gets called, and Clem, he will hold, he will defend. He will extend his lead in the series, 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very chaotic game here from Clem. Seeing Battle Mech, at least I'm seeing Battle Mech for the first time this patch. We've seen mech before against Protoss this patch, but a very different kind of mech here. But I do believe that this was a reaction to the Stargate, a reaction to the Phoenix production. As you saw, the Phoenixes had a really hard time getting value. There was that one fight in the center of the map where he lifted up 4 Cyclones, which was nice. He was able to lock them down. But again, he bled out so much while chasing the army across the map. He bled out so many Phoenixes throughout the course of that game. I want to say 10 plus Phoenixes were just thrown away, and in the end it just wasn't quite worth it. It was a very committed, very all-in style at a Creator because he sent everything across the map, and GG, didn't break through. Did not break through. GG, well played. With that, Clem takes a 2-0 lead. Now we're jumping into game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. As we're loading into Maganatha. They keep switching places. God damn it. One moment, as I said, there we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. The pressure is on. From South Korea, it is a Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent once again. Yo, yeah, Clemmy's done. for the second time this series, going for a proxy 2 racks from Land of France, representing Team Liquid. It is a Clem. Oh, Clem, he's got places to be. He's aye. As both SUVs are sent across. Now, what is scary about 2 racks Reaper on Maganatha? It's a larger map. It's a very large map, longer rush distance by ground. Because it's a little bit larger, there's a higher chance that Creator is going to go for an economic build. If you remember in game 1, Creator, he was going, it was on Persephone. Creator, he was going for a faster Nexus. He was going for a gate expand. He opted not to, as he barely scattered in time, but he had like an inefficient shaky start as a result. We'll see if that occurs here as well. That's Creator, he moves that across the map. Okay, he's finishing up. Okay, Gate Cybercore. Gate Cybercore here by Creator, thankfully. Pro Scout will confirm that the Raxes are missing. Oh, this time not 2 racks Reaper, 2 racks Marauder. Okay, something much more committed here. Meanwhile, Creator, he moved out. He sees the SCV. Creator is not fully aware, but he will confirm. Does go in, does confirm, does get eyes on both at Tech Labs. Now, from my understanding, defending the natural is insanely difficult against two racks Marauder. He's going for it. He's going for the low ground defense. We've seen many a Protoss player like herO, like Classic, set up in the main instead, like defending the main base. Oh, again, there's so much committed to the low ground. If he will lose this pylon, I mean, that's going to be game. Second shield battery's on the way. All Marauders are rallying in. First shield battery's done. So far, so good. But Clem is getting up to 5 Marauders. We're getting a 3rd shield battery. Second one is finishing up. Creator has to be so careful with this. Oh, no! Oh, it doesn't want to get caught out. Does not want to get caught out. Be careful. Shield battery is somewhat exposed. Rover is done. He's going to have to pull the boys. There we go, the boys are being pulled. One Stalker does fall. Yeah, nice pick up, he gets one. Marauder gets low, nice kiting here by Clem. Ooh, takes down the Zealots. We'll lose one Marauder. Gets one Marauder so far. Sorry, Zealot survived. Not for much longer, Immortal's on the way. And if we can get that Immortal up and running here, Creator, he can hold. He can hold on. Okay, the Immortal pops out. Zones away the Marauders, but there are so many Marauders. Yeah, it's still not an easy defense here for Creator. Shield barriers are running out of energy. Yeah, running out, he goes for the dive. There's the overcharge. But despite that, the Immortal's going to go down. Yeah, massive pick off. The Immortal does fall, but he'll bleed out so many Marauders in the process. Creator, can he hold? Can he hold on? The boys are being pulled. And he will. Yeah, he will hold on. He cleans everything up. Whew. Takes care of all the Marauders. At the same time, though, we have more reinforcements in the natural. But Clem is losing too much. Now with the defensive Immortal here, Creator, he does hold, he does survive, he has 2 bases, and Clem, he has nothing behind this. We're being a little bit cavalier here. Uh-oh. Clem luring Creator out into the open. One Marauder goes down. We should not be here. This is very risky here. The Immortal's on its own. Cleans up all the Marauders though. Does clean up. Clem, he expands. Jesus. I'm just getting the most out of these Marauders. And again, Creator is held. Okay. From here, Creator, he should have a lead. I mean, hey, he saved the natural. He's got more Immortals building up as well. Clem getting a very late expansion. And my eyes are going to be on Creator here. Does he go for a War Prism? Does he go for a Harass across the map? Do we take up? Does he just take a third? Where are we headed? Clem is macroing his heart out. Let's go. Brings up the final Zealots. Back at home, getting into a 4-rack setup. It's a lot of Raxes. And Creator, he is going for the War Prism. So he's going to try to press his advantage. Going for the Prism, moving out. With a War Prism control, he can get into the mineral line, get into the main base. He does have to be careful, though. This is the purpose of the Cyclone. The Cyclone is designed to deny the War Prism. To zone it away. Headed for the main. Does go further in. Boys are being pulled. Lock on the Prism. And the Prism takes a lot of hits. Yeah, it takes a lot of hits. It is barely going to break the lock on. Whew. Okay, does get away. Do lose the Immortal. Yeah, the Immortal is going to go down. Oh, get out of here. Oh, no! The Prism goes down. The Immortals as well. Massive loss. Massive pickup. Ay, ay, ay. Both Immortals fall. Creator here overextends. Respect the Cyclone. Respect it. Oh, God. And the advantage the lead the Creator had, I mean, that was an expensive loss, losing 2 Immortals and the War Prism as well. For what? For a couple of Marines. For the Cyclone, I suppose. So we're settling in. The game is stabilizing. Is stabilizing. We can see the Creator setting up for another expansion, going for a Dark Shrine. I mean, when behind Dark Shrine. I do like DTs in this position just because Clem has a lot of incentive to mule, right? He has a lot of incentive to just keep muling. So there is a chance that DTs can do damage. There is a chance. Do you ever see Terrans use mech much for Protoss like Clem does, especially the Cyclones? I mean, getting an early Cyclone for defense is pretty standard. Of course, last game it was a little bit different with Clem coming into mech, into battle mech. I would say that is more unique specifically this patch. Like all the Terran players, they all played mech last patch. Like Cure, Maru. All the Terrans except for Beyond. But this patch it was more unique for sure. First time I've seen it. In the last 2 weeks. Let's go for a massive Zella warping into the main base. And they're denying mining at least. That's denying a lot of mining time. The boys are being pulled to help buffer. And Clem, he will deny the warp in. Massive pickup, takes down the prism. Nice hold position micro. And Clem defends. Yeah, Clem, he will defend at a cost because Clem has 0 economy. Zero. Second prism? Wait, what? Okay, second war prism gets in. We have the second. Oh, it gets thrown away. Yeah, second prism gets thrown away. GG gets called. Never mind. His creator, he was just doubling down. He was all in. And Clem, he holds. Clem, he takes a 3-0 lead. GG. Ay, ay, ay. Creator, he didn't have to commit there. Didn't have to go for the attempted all in. Could have expanded behind it, gotten into a longer game. I understand the rationale of going for an all in because he believed that after the failed 2 racks that he would have the advantage. And he would have, like, imagine that. Okay, so imagine that build. Imagine all those zealots with 2 immortals, supporting the army here. If that was the case, then maybe he has enough. Maybe he breaks the main, but he lost the immortals early. If you recall, he lost them early. That shouldn't have happened. That was a massive blow to creator and did weaken the follow-up all in as well. GG. GG, well played with that. Clem takes a 3-0 lead, and Clem is now 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Let us go. So loading into torches. Alright, loading into torches here and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of torches. We have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Down in the series, down heavily in the series. He has to fight back here and now to make a series out of this. It is a creator. I'll fix his name. 1 moment. There we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Leading the series at 3-0. And again, we've seen a lot of aggression out of Clem so far this series, with Proxy 2-axes, 2x Reaper, 2x Marauder, with Mech, of course, in the second game. And now we're getting into game number 4. Hello. As speaking of proxies, we have 1 Rax back at home, and I believe a second Rax. Oh no, never mind. Going for the eBay block. So he's rallying in for the eBay block. Does avoid the main scouting path, and he's hoping he can force the unnatural natural. Now if he does, that is brutal, specifically on torches. The third base location is so vulnerable and so exposed on this map. Here comes the eBay. Thankfully creator, he scouts quickly. He already had a probe in position. The boys are being pulled and creator will shut this down. A little bit late to pull the boys is what I will say. A little bit late, but he will force a cancel. So basically, when it comes to this opener, if this eBay had gotten any more progression on it, then creator would have been forced to expand at the third, at either the triangular third or the linear third base instead. And it is so difficult to defend that on torches. But thankfully, he did scouts, does force a cancel, creator can expand. So we're calming down. Go. I'm going for an economic opener back. I mean, relatively economic. It was delayed because of the eBay, of course, but get into his own racks, into CC, into factory. Welcome to Torches. Torches has a short rush distance by air. It's typically much more aggressive as well. We have goal bases. We have seen Protoss players take advantage of that as well, getting into mass charge. But I'll be honest, so far, Creator, he has been, I mean, this has been a really short series. Like the games, I mean. The games have been very short. They've been very fast, very concise. Creator has yet to really embrace the mid game. The closest you got was game 1 on Persephone, but if you remember, we were emphasizing that in game 1 on Persephone, Creator, he was behind. He got into the mid game at a deficit, which is why Clem's push was as strong as it was. So it's been really fast games. We have yet to get into a back and forth mid game. It just hasn't happened yet between these two. Is this where that changes? As we do see Creator going 3-gate blink. So 2 more gates on the way, so 3-gate blink in total. He's going for a safer start. Likewise, Clem opening up with his initial Widowmine drop. Second Rax is on the way. Well, for the first time, do we get into a standard game? We'll see. We have a lot of Marines building up here. Clem moves out. Moves out across the map. eBay is on the way. That's indicative of course, +1. Indicative of a later timing. So Clem might just expand. Might just get a third. Let's go. As Creator is in position. Does react in time. Pulls away. Lose 1 probe in the main. Oh. As the medevac is zoned back. A nice zoning here by Creator. Ensuring the Widowmines are not saved. At least they shouldn't be. They're just gonna walk out. It's gonna waddle away. Blink is almost done. Thank God. Widowmine doesn't escape. So nice defense here by Creator. Didn't lose too much. And Creator is going for the Bay. Unlike game 1, he's going for the Bay. He's going for soon to be Colossus production. If you remember in game 1, he went up to like 3 or 4 Immortals before Colossi. They were settling in. Getting into the mid game. Likewise, Clem getting into its bio. Third base is being saturated. Getting into our splash damage. And we'll see if Clem can try to break the defenses here of Creator. We'll see if he can try to punish with a more mobile composition. Over drop on the left. Headed towards the third. Creator is building up his army. And again, this has been a much more passive game. Much more passive. Main army gets spotted. During the distraction, Clem gets into the middle line, and Creator is late to react. Yeah, late reaction. Late reaction here. He'll lose far too many probes. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 probes going down. 9. 9 probe kills. A Stalker. The Zealots. 10 probes. And this is too much. Yeah, this is too much. He's getting in hand so quickly. 10 probes go down. Drops into the natural. Main army moves in. No disable, but he wants a Colossus. No, he gets it. Yeah, Colossus barely survives. Whew. Does kite back. But again, it's so fragile. You want to drop into the main. Drop into the main base. Creator, he barely does defend the ramp. But Clem, he wants that Colossus. So he gets left idle. Massive pickup. Colossus goes down. And we're not going to get into the mid-game. It's not happening. We're just rallying. We're just rallying across. Clem, he smells blood in the water. He knows that Creator, he's almost down. Ay, ay, ay. And he gets us around. He gets us around. Takes out the final Colossus. And with that Creator, he has nothing left. He's down to one Zealot, to one Stalker. Barely an army. GG gets called. And Clem, he will take the series 4-0, becoming LiuLi Cup number 46, our champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Clem, having a clean sweep in the finals. A very aggressive series as well. I was mentioning it coming into Torches. I was like, oh, are we getting into the mid game for the first time? No. No, we almost did. But both players were hyper aggressive. Creator, he was aggressive in retaliation to Clem more often than not. But Clem, he was very aggressive here in this series, very in the face of Creator. Again, when it came to this final game, Creator, he had the tools to defend. It came down to the reaction, it came down to the positioning, came down to the map awareness and map vision. That is something, of course, that has been reduced for Protoss in the recent patch, referring to the observer, of course, no longer being able to siege up to be able to get extended vision without, of course, revealing yourself, or the lack of hallucination scouts, as going for sentry base openers are a little bit weaker as you have less energy to work with, less scouting potential as well. So as a result, he just was unable to get eyes on the drop coming his way. The drop was able to get in, killed 10 workers, killed 2 stalkers and a zealot, and if you remember, that was already critical damage, and it forced him, or he was out of position, right? Creator, it forced him out of position, forced him to react, to respond. As he was rotating to the third base to react to the drop, he got caught in the center, so it was just pulled apart. Was out of position. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Clem, and Clem, a very impressive run here in today's tournament in LiuLi Cup. You can see here he did bleed, like it wasn't a clean kind of run. He did trade and have some intense series against both Classic and herO. You can see Classic took a game, herO also took a game as well. I would say that those TVPs were a lot closer. They were a little bit closer. Unfortunately, Creator versus Clem was a little bit more one-sided. Clem with the 4-0, not just in scores, but the games themselves were a little bit one-sided here. We did have some scrappy kind of scenarios, specifically on Ultralove with the mech, right, with the battle mech. That was definitely scrappy. It was more intense and more unique as well. Seeing battle mech for the first time against Protoss, at least in the recent patch, was really cool to see. But outside of that, again, just a really intense series out of Clem, partly just because Creator, he was a little bit more passive, a little bit more defensive. That changed on Maganatha, but that was a reaction to Clem's proxy, if you remember. It was more of a reaction. Meanwhile, we had like herO and Classic being a little more in the face of Clem. GG, well played. And also, I don't want to take away from Creator, because even though he went down in the finals in a 4-0, he was able to 3-0 his way to the finals against Percival and against SHIN as well. So he had an impressive performance making it to those finals. He was... and stylistically, I do feel like SHIN did struggle quite hard against Creator. If you remember, Creator was playing very safe. He was playing very safe and very defensive against SHIN, and SHIN just struggled to break that defensive style and struggled to make it to, or really bring it to the late game against SHIN as well. Sorry, against Creator, I meant to say. Against Creator. But here in PvT, I mean, Clem, he is the best Terran player in the world. He has the best TVP in the world, and he does bring Creator down. GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem. And with that, that is going to be us wrapping up today's broadcast. This was a 2-day event, and we have more content in the coming days, in the coming week. As you can see here, we just wrapped up our Tuesday morning broadcast. We're going to be live tomorrow at this time with Pickers Cup. Pickers Cup is going to be tomorrow. Also in the morning, we have the SH2 Safe House Playoffs replay cast tomorrow evening. We were going to be casting that yesterday, but we didn't have the replays. We didn't have the replays in time, so we're going to be covering that tomorrow evening. We have the Turtle Tussle in the morning on Thursday. We have the Pond cast. We have RSL qualifiers over the weekend. True, the Revival StarCraft League Season 3 qualifiers are right around the corner. We have Tunic Cup on Sunday, and we have the Platinum StarCraft League tournament on Friday evening as well. So Friday looks empty, but it leads into the Saturday morning cast. As you can see, that's at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. in the morning, so technically on Saturday, but kind of Friday. with that, GG. With that, GG. Well played. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Hope you'll had a great time here. Shout out to LiuLi. Shout out to Saber. He is the organizer of this tournament, LiuLi Cup. These are invitationals. Every couple of weeks we have these invitationals. They're a little bit sporadic, and they don't really have too much consistency to them. Sometimes it's like a round robin group. Sometimes it's a GSL group. Sometimes, like today, we have like a round of 8 single elimination bracket, as you saw today. Sometimes we have like off race matches or random matches as well, like playing random the race, I mean. So yeah, it's a little bit more chaotic when it comes to what's going on with LiuLi Cup, but yeah, you know, much love to LiuLi, much love to Saber, investing quite a lot into running these tournaments on a semi-regular basis. GG, well played. And again, the rest of our week here is going to be jam-packed full of other Open Cups and of course the RSL qualifiers at the end of the week. When it comes to other events on the horizon, of course, if you're in the Americas, do not forget to mark your calendars, because there's a lot of NA StarCraft on the horizon as well. With what? With SE for All. SE for All is a big offline event happening in Philadelphia, so if you happen to be local, if you happen to be in the area, then do consider traveling to Philly. Likewise, a couple days after SE for All, we have Stellarfest. That's a big offline event happening in Canada, Ottawa, or Ottawa, Canada. So two events back to back, one in Philadelphia, the other in Ottawa. Both are going to be massive. They're going to be huge. We have some international representation. Players are flying over from Europe to compete in some of these events, or in both of the events as well. Koreans also going to be traveling. So yeah, right now is kind of November. November is like the big month for NA StarCraft, so do consider going to those events and supporting your local scene and your local tournaments. Likewise, of course, we're going to be tuning in here online as well. We should be a part of the SE for All tournament. SE for All is basically like rebranded Cheeseadelphia. So Cheeseadelphia, they've partnered with the SE Historian to run SE for All. It's a unique tournament because it's basically a big tournament with StarCraft 2 and with Brood War as well. I'm not saying that they're like combined in any way, but there's two tournaments happening at the same event, at the same venue. So the same venue is going to be hosting a Brood War tournament and a StarCraft 2 tournament as well. So it's a really good way to kind of bring the communities together. I'm a little bit surprised that more events don't do that, right? Like, kind of makes sense. So yeah, Brood War and SE2 going to be happening at SE for All. Stellarfest is going to be only SE2, from my understanding. Only SE2. But otherwise, thanks for watching. GG, well played. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you want to support us, you can do so via following us. You can follow us on all the socials. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. So if you see something that you like here, like the RSL qualifiers, or SE2 Safe House, or the Pondcast, or some of the Open Cups, but if you can't watch it live because of your time zone, again, we're live morning and evening, like I believe the morning cast is more favored towards NA or the Americas. Evening cast is more favored to Europe and towards Korea. So if you see something and it's not ideal for your time zone, check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. Otherwise, you can support us on Patreon as well. As you can see, we are live on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day as well. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go pass out. I slept like 3 hours today. I did not sleep at all. It's very hot as well. I got some things to do around the house, but then I'm gonna get some sleep and rest up and get ready for tomorrow's Pegasus Cup. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we send everyone over to? Guess what? Yeah, okay. Gonna get some veg. Speaking of Pig, I see Pig is live. We thought Eggs is live as well. We have been raiding Eggs quite a bit recently. We have Cian, who's a Brazilian caster. We have Ryojin. Nathanius is live. We have quite a number of streamers, actually. Okay. I will give El Chanchito some love. Give him some love.
And Stargate units.
He recently came back from Europe, from the UK. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Bye. Ciao. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.